what it is. It's what it is. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. I done played the block and it's time to stop. Pop the block, then drop the top. Button how to say fuck, got to keep it high up on my block. Keep an eye up in my pocket. You know the G and I can't be stopped. Flip the script with serving deal. Keep the heat on Silent Hill. You know when I know that feel water just so cold. Riding on foes, slamming wood dough. Sipping on drink, fucking these hoes. Riding on bowls, pushing kilos. Me and my boys ball out of control. Got so much ice you can buy a Super Bowl. Me, Lil G, I can't be hoe. Look at my mouth, see number go. Fucking with a knife, will make you fold. Look at my room, see number polo. Step in the bed and in the studio. Over your nose, the smell of smoke. Over your mouth, it's start to blow. Now you know we got that dope. Cause me and my boys ball out of control. We keyed up and G'd up. We should've lost straight speed up. We should've decided to pull my heat up. Lost things going big, I'm fucked up. Nigga, we keyed up and G'd up. Once you lost straight speed up. We should've decided to pull my heat up. Lost things going back, I'm fucked up. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle.
Hitting niggas in they fucking head with a crack. Bustin' up, bustin' back with a gap that spits venom. You sitting black. And when the bottom of the knife and it's smack, he bleeds.
The cat's wax and I'm back.
Cause he ain't suffered enough, hustled enough, scuffling cuff his hand to a cop, nothing discussed, cutting his nuts to his cock. Something to shock a spark out your heart when you stop jogging in the park. And you meet a nigga dog that fighting for blood spilling on the sidewalk. Staying in the light is smart despite staying on course, of course. Cause the smell of death escaping out of corpse is rough. Top half man and I be damned if they bottom half horse. Hush, lost souls rushing to touch the black hole, wishing to be dust gagging and fuss. Cause the demon face leaking pus.
All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. All talent on trapping and rapping and moving muscle. If it ain't about the hustle, then I don't wanna tussle. Trapping and rapping ain't about the hustle. I don't wanna tussle. Out trapping and rapping ain't about the hustle. I don't wanna tussle. Out.
This chick remind me my drink. Yo, this bitch is drunk on my drink. Yo, this trick is smoking my dang. I want her to stop, but I can't. I'm leaning to the side, man. I'm leaning to the side, man. Yo, everybody vibing, the lights flashing, ain't nobody hiding. I'm full of passion. I see this chick smiling with her action. She said she from an island. I'm just passing. I said stop lying. We started laughing. Girl, what you drinking? I'm on that captain. Now we on pink panties with a napkin. I got a blunt dipped in brandy that we passing. Now we leaning to the side in the bass bay. She feeling on my thigh, my chain swinging. Feeling alright now. The game changing. Right on time now. We both swaying. Do that new style now. Bojangles, I wanna see your tatas. Those jangles, what about on now, guys? I need angles. Call me your papa. Grab your ankles. Move like chaka chaka. When it's anal, I got to get ya. And it's painful, split you like a swisher. With a label, you know we can make it without being naked. We can make them think we fake it, shake it, make me take it. Yo, this chick remind me my drink. Yo, this bitch is drunk on my drink. This trick is smoking my dang. I want her to stop, but I can't. I'm leaning to the side, man. 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 If you got a cup, put that shit up. Lean it to the side. Lean it to the side. If you got a fat cat and your drawers and bra match, lean it to the side. Lean it to the side. If you just got off of work and your fucking feet hurt, lean it to the side. Lean it to the side. If you shine fly and everybody know your ass high, lean it to the side. Lean it to the side. If it's getting hot and you drink Henny on the rocks, lean it to the side. Lean it to the side. make it pop. Lean it to the side, lean it to the side. Yo, this chick remind me my drink. Yo, this bitch is drunk on my drink. Yo, this trick is smoking my dank. I want her to stop, but I can't. I'm leaning to the side, man. Leaning to the side, man. Leaning to the side, man. Leaning to the side, man.
Hey, how y'all doing out there? How y'all feel? Remember, we want you to be an activist. We create activists over here. Yeah, yes, I did have a couple of drinks. So for the show, it's kind of been the thing that I've been doing Friday, Saturday night. Have a drink before the show. So I have to always disclosure that. Anyway, so tonight, my plan for tonight is to tell some stories and to talk about poverty. Nobody has hit me back on my phone. It's probably because I came on so fucking late. Tried to get on earlier. I had to work tonight. Got out of work late. Again, I had to have me a little drink, wind down from work. And so here we are. Hopefully, some people, I know they probably went to sleep, but maybe if I blow their phone up, maybe they'll wake up. I don't know. Either way, we're still going to have a show tonight. How long we're going to be on today, I don't know. I might cut it short today because I feel tired. I feel good, but I feel tired. So that's where I'm at. That's where I'm at today. What did y'all think of the show yesterday? If anybody saw it, man, I think that yesterday's show was pretty good. I really think it was pretty good. And the other show we did, the ones tell a story show, I think that was pretty fucking good. So yeah, again, you guys, y'all can find me if you want. If you listen to podcasts, if you like podcasts without the video and you just want to listen, I'm on Spotify, Anchor, and Apple. I think I'm on Apple. I'm not 100% sure if I'm on Apple because I was having some trouble with Apple, but it might be broadcasting Apple. I can't even check it because like my computer is not a Mac. So that's the problem. I can set everything up with my phone because I have an iPhone. So Apple is so weird when it comes to shit like that. Like they don't like to be compatible with other fucking, like for you to use their fucking software, they want you to have their fucking hardware. So that kind of sucks. But it is what it is. I have to deal with it. So, like I say, if you guys want to check us out, like I say, man, we're on Rumble, Twitter, Facebook, YouTube. Of course, I'm on Instagram. I don't broadcast on Instagram, but that's a good place to go if you want to hear like more detail. Nah, I wouldn't say more detail. I get more detailed on YouTube, but on Instagram, I talk about like, you know, the same stuff that I talk about on the show. So follow me on Instagram. I'm just saying. And what am I missing? Spotify, Anchor, and Apple. So yeah, man, I'm trying to blow this page up. We're almost at 100 subscribers now. It's only been about 4 months. I think that's pretty good. These are organic subscribers that were not paid for. I'm learning a lot about how these channels work. People pay for subscribers. People pay for views, so forth and so on. You guys think these pages are so fucking badass and so fucking nice or whatever. They pay for their fucking subscribers and they pay for their fucking views. So that shit is not real. Okay? So just don't believe it. My little old channel, whatever. I'm almost at 100 subscribers. I average about 20 plus video, 40 or so views. You know, whatever. You know, I'm just growing. Once my page gets bigger, I think those views will grow up. So it is what it is. These are real views. These are real subscribers. These are real people. So hey, I can't compete with that fake shit. I'm keeping it 100 over here, and we're gonna grow slowly because it's gonna be an organic grow. It's gonna be real. We're gonna build a community of activists. That's my point. And like I said, give me about a year, this channel will be something. I promise you. So stick with me. Slide on in there. This is a good time to join the community too, because people who want to, if you want to plug your music, if you want to plug your art, plug your podcast, whatever the fuck. And also, I would like to get invited, if anybody's listening, on podcasts or whatever. Like I say, you know, I support you, you support me, and we just build a community, and we just build a group of people who are really about this life and trying to grind and make some shit happen, you know? Because see, like I say, you know, I don't know, people maybe not understand me. I've made decisions in my life that a lot of people don't really understand. And I don't know if they were right. I to this day, I don't know if they were right, but I have to follow my heart. I have to follow my heart. I have to stand up for what I believe in. And that's just how I feel. And I also feel like money isn't the end all be all. Now, I could be wrong about that. I need healthcare right now. I need dental right now. So money is definitely important. I just feel like I can't let that be the reason why I do everything in my fucking life. Okay. I don't feel like that's evil. That's how I feel. If money is your only motivation in the shit that you do, that's fucking evil. Because you know why? Because you're willing to do anything. You're willing to fuck over anybody. You're willing to do shady shit so you can make that money. Because it's all about getting the bag. It's not all about getting the bag. For me, I don't judge anyone. You make your decisions. You live your life the way you live. The decisions that I've made, I don't like what I study in college. In the university, I study anthropology. I tell people I study anthropology. They're like, "What are you gonna do with that? You don't make no money in that. Why even study that shit?" Hey, I study that shit because it's interesting to me. I want to know about it. I love it. I like it. I want to know more. You know, it's not about if I'm going to make money off of it or not. That is not my motivation. My motivation is that I enjoy the knowledge. I want to gain the knowledge. This is the stuff that I'm interested in. So that's the direction I'm going in. If it makes me money, great. If it doesn't, oh well. I love to I'm going to continue down this road regardless. Regardless. I don't care. If I die, I'll be on the same journey, you know, when I die. It is what it is. Anyways, it's 2 a.m. and I'm just barely starting the show. We're at 13 minutes. I got my one viewer that I always have on Twitch. Thank you for being here. But the people that I'm supposed to have on the show, nobody's hit me back. They probably sleep and shit. Whatever. For now, I'm gonna do some Democracy Now. I meant to watch this earlier, so we're gonna be watching this together for the first time. I haven't seen this, but I tend to watch Democracy Now, the overall show that they do. I tend to watch that daily, and it gives me stuff to look up and so forth and so on. It's not the only news show I watch, but it's the only one that I watch, you know, every day. You know, they only broadcast Monday through Friday. They don't have any weekend shows. So they're a weekday show, and I swear, like, I don't miss a show during the week. I swear. Most of the time I don't. It's like the first thing I watch in the morning when I wake up. It pops up at the top of my screen because I watch it every day. So when I open my phone, when I wake up in the morning, it's usually the top thing on my screen. So, and a lot of times I just click on it. It's like overall news, and it just usually to start my day. And, you know, I'm not going to say Democracy Now! Is the best, because when they were covering, once I really started getting into politics and understanding what was happening in global stuff, I started to realize that Democracy Now!, like, the thing that made me realize what was happening was they was covering the white helmets, what they call the white helmets. I don't know if you guys know what I'm talking about. I don't really want to explain, but the white helmets, and everybody knew that the white helmets was like a propaganda fucking machine that was, it was fake. And it was showing news like in Syria of things that was happening that wasn't happening. It was just creating a point of view. And the white helmets was working with the damn, you know, terrorists. The terrorists and the white helmets were the same people. So, and everybody knew this, but Democracy Now! Kept on covering the white helmets. They don't do that anymore. Well, That's not a thing anymore because it didn't, like I say, it came out and people realized what the fuck. So, but Democracy Now! Kept on covering it. And that's when I realized that Democracy Now!, you know, it's a point of view that they want to give and they don't care. Sometimes they don't care if it's, you know, actually true, and that's a problem. But anyways, I like them to a certain extent. And everything that you use is a tool, right? You have to be able to know how to dig through this stuff because the media today, I mean, 95% of it is trash. So for you to get anything from any show that you watch, you need to be able to pick through that shit and not consume the whole thing. Like I was saying to Pat the other night, if you consume the whole sandwich, or if you drink the Kool-Aid, you've been poisoned. So you have to pick through that shit and fucking, you know, don't think that everything they're saying is, you know, whatever. I'm going to watch this and try to get some more people on the show. Wait. My bad. I got to share a screen. No, I'm tripping. I'm tired too, y'all. I don't know how long I'm going to go. If nobody joins, tell your friends to come join the fucking show so we can talk about some shit. Nobody joins, I'm telling y'all, this is not going to be a long show. So I did 5 hours. I did 5 hours last night. I got to stop doing those long-ass shows. They wear me the fuck out. They wear me out. I think that's why I'm tired, come to think of it. That's why I'm tired today. We did a 5-hour show last night. It was good, but I probably should have ended it earlier. I would love to get these shows to about 2 hours, 2.5 or so. Fucking 5 hours is way too much. Nobody's gonna consume all this content. People can't watch a whole TikTok video and shit's like 15 seconds. So I'm asking too much for y'all to watch a fucking 5-hour fucking video. So yeah, I need to stop making them so long, but it happens. We be talking about stuff and we keep on going, you know. I don't know. We're going to figure it out. And like I said before, please, you guys, if you watch the show, leave some comments about suggestions on how we can improve the show. I want to hear it. Like, it's so crazy, you know, on Instagram or so forth and so on. You leave a comment that the person that pages, they don't like it, they block you. And so I'm not that guy, okay? I want to hear the good, the bad, and the fucking ugly. That's what this show is about. And everybody, we're all in our fucking algorithm. We're all in our little fucking bubble. And like I say, somebody says something under your page, on your Instagram post or your Facebook post that you don't like, and you block them. I don't understand that shit. It drives me fucking crazy. I don't get it. I'm sorry, y'all. I don't get it. I don't understand that stuff. You only want to hear stuff that you agree with? Just because somebody says something you don't agree with, you want to have to block them? I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I'm not that guy. Whatever the hell you want to say in the comment section. Well, you can't leave links and shit, and you can't use foul language on my comment section because I have blocks on that. So you can't leave links, and you can't use foul language on my comments, again, because it's blocked. But just about anything else, I don't block people. Say what the hell. Tell me. I want to hear it. Good, the bad, and the ugly.
Back Better plan, which is aimed at combating the climate crisis while funding an array of social programs. Biden's scale back plan would see the—
Wait, something's not right with my sound. I noticed in the
U.S. spend $1.75 trillion over a decade, with $555 billion for climate-friendly policies like tax credits for electric vehicles, solar panels, wind turbines, and more energy-efficient buildings. Under pressure from conservative Democrats, Senator Joe Manchin and Kyrsten Sinema, many progressive goals have been stripped from the original Build Back Better Act, among them 2 years of community college, paid family and medical leave, and a provision allowing Medicare to negotiate prescription drug prices. Still, progressive lawmakers like Vermont Independent Senator Bernie Sanders called the package transformational.
The president and many of us in Congress are trying to pass the most consequential piece of legislation in the modern history of this country for working families.
Senators Sinema and Manchin
They
both
didn't gut it, the
sidestepped
shit, though.
questions Thursday over whether they'll support the revised spending bill. Meanwhile, progressive Democrats defied House Speaker Nancy Pelosi Thursday, refusing to approve an infrastructure bill passed by the Senate. Lawmakers led by Progressive Caucus Chair Pramila Jayapal say they want the infrastructure bill passed in tandem with the revised Build Back Better Act. Top executives from BP, Chevron, ExxonMobil, and Shell appeared before the House Oversight Committee Thursday. During 6 hours of testimony, they repeatedly refused to pledge to stop lobbying against congressional efforts to combat the climate emergency. New York Democrat Carolyn Maloney gavelled in the hearing.
This is a historic hearing. For the first time, top fossil fuel executives are testifying together before Congress under oath about the industry's role in causing climate change and their efforts to cover it up. For far too long, big oil has escaped accountability for its central role in bringing our planet to the brink of a climate catastrophe. That ends today.
Throughout Thursday's hearing, Republicans repeatedly apologized to the oil company executives, while progressives grilled them over their campaign to prevent action on the climate crisis. This is New York Congressmember Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez.
One thing that often gets lost in these conversations is that some of us have to actually live the future that you all are setting on fire for us. By 2028, crop yields are already projected to begin to fail, with famine beginning to hit the world's most vulnerable populations.
Committee Chair Carolyn Maloney said she plans to issue subpoenas to force oil executives to turn over documents detailing what their own scientists were saying internally about climate change, as well as big oil's efforts to misinform the public. A new United Nations report warns at least 10 forest-designated World Heritage sites have become net emitters of greenhouse gases, no longer absorbing more carbon than they emit. The disturbing trend is driven by drought, wildfires, and deforestation, including in California's Yosemite National Park. China submitted its climate action goals ahead of the COP26 United Nations Climate Summit, which opens next week in Glasgow. China says it plans to see its carbon dioxide emissions peak by 2030, achieving carbon neutrality by 2060. The pledge contains no significant new environmental goals. Climate activists say it's far short of what's needed from China to help prevent the worst effects of the climate
look
crisis.
at the sky. It's gray as
In
fuck.
Scotland, protesters gathered Thursday near the site of next week's COP26 summit, demanding countries take real action to limit global temperature rise to 1.5 degrees Celsius.
We have to try and remind world leaders what's happening with the crisis. The world is literally on fire, and it's only going to get worse.
From wildfires in the U.S. to flooding across the world, we are in a full-blown climate crisis. World leaders know this. They've seen what's happening. Now's the time for them to come together here in Glasgow and hammer out a deal to avert the worst of the climate catastrophe.
Tune in for the next 2 weeks for Democracy Now!'s coverage of the UN Climate Summit. President Biden met with Pope Francis at the Vatican today ahead of the G20 summit in Rome. The Pope has called for global vaccine equity and has urged world leaders to do more to tackle the climate emergency. In 2015, he penned the encyclical on climate change and inequality. On Thursday, before his departure for Europe, activists held a rally in Washington, D.C. to demand President Biden keep his promise to make the COVID vaccine available to all countries and to put people over profits. This is human rights advocate Pauline Machina.
We talk about solidarity. We talk about global community, but we are hoarding vaccines. 500 million vaccines were promised by President Biden. How many of them have left the United States? We hear people throwing out vaccines. How many vaccines are being destroyed instead of shared around the world?
A lot of people don't know that these vaccines, some of them have to be refrigerated.
The rally was followed by
They have
a
an
all-night
expiration
vigil
date.
in front of the home of White House
They'd rather
coronavirus
trash them than let the other
response
countries use
Jeffrey
them.
Science. More protests are expected in Italy over the weekend as the G20 gets underway. In Sudan, at least one protester was killed Thursday on the fourth consecutive day of clashes between soldiers and demonstrators in Khartoum who oppose Monday's military coup. A Guantanamo Bay prisoner and survivor
was a
of U.S.
short-ass
government
segment.
torture gave a detailed account of his brutal captivity to a military jury Thursday. 41-year-old Majid Khan is the first former prisoner of CIA black sites to describe so-called enhanced interrogation techniques in an open court. For more than 2 hours, Khan described force feedings, waterboarding, and other physical and sexual abuse he endured, including extended periods of nudity, where he was detained in the CIA's network of overseas prisons from 2003 to 2006. Khan was captured in Pakistan in 2003 and pleaded guilty to being an al-Qaeda courier in 2012. He's being sentenced today. In immigration news, the Wall Street Journal reports the Biden administration's in negotiations to pay millions of dollars in reparations to families who were separated at the U.S.-Mexico border under Trump's zero-tolerance policy.
Really?
The payments would amount to $450,000 per person.
Really?
This comes as part of efforts to settle several lawsuits filed on behalf of hundreds of separated parents and children who say they're still suffering from emotional distress.
They probably don't even know where their kids
psychological harm.
Are still to this day. They
In
lost
related
a bunch
news,
of kids
federal
back
jury
then.
in Tacoma, Washington, has determined the private prison corporation Geo Group must pay minimum wage rather than $1 a day to immigrants detained at its Northwest Detention Center who are ordered to perform tasks like cooking and cleaning. Facebook has changed its name to Meta as it attempts to major rebrand amidst mounting scandals. The company said the name better reflects its expansion into virtual and augmented reality. It'll keep the name Facebook for its popular social media app. The group Real Facebook Oversight Board said, quote, changing their name doesn't change reality. Facebook is destroying our democracy and is the world's leading peddler of disinformation and hate. Their meaningless name change should not distract from the investigation, regulation, and real independent oversight needed to hold Facebook accountable, they said. Former New York Governor Andrew Cuomo has been charged with forcible touching, a misdemeanor crime, for allegedly groping his aide inside the executive mansion last year. The disgraced governor, who was forced to resign in August amidst a flurry of sexual misconduct claims, will have to appear in court November 17th for arraignment. The Justice Department has agreed to pay an $88 million settlement to survivors and families of victims killed by the white supremacist in the 2015 mass shooting at the historically Black Mother Emanuel AME Church in Charleston, South Carolina. This comes after 14 plaintiffs filed a civil case against the FBI, accusing the agency of neglect for failing to prohibit the sale of the firearm convicted murderer Dylan Roof used in the massacre. Meanwhile, in Virginia, jurors heard opening statements Thursday in the federal civil trial that charges the organizers of the deadly white supremacist Unite the Right rally in 2017 with an unlawful conspiracy to commit violent acts. In his opening statement, the jailed neo-Nazi Christopher Cantwell, one of 24 organizers of the deadly rally, made references to Mein Kampf and said the N-word and blasted anti-fascist advocates all within a matter of minutes. A warning to our audience, this story contains graphic descriptions of an execution. In Oklahoma, prison officials Thursday strapped condemned 60-year-old prisoner John Marion Grant to a gurney and injected him with a lethal cocktail of 3 drugs, midazolam, vecuronium bromide, and potassium chloride. AP reporter Sean Murphy witnessed the execution.
As the drugs began to flow, the first drug, the midazolam, he exhaled deeply. He began convulsing about 24 times, full body convulsions, and then began to vomit, which covered his face and began to run down his neck and the side of his face. Continued to breathe for several minutes before 2 members of the medical team or the execution team came in and wiped his face. At that point, he was still breathing.
After more involuntary convulsions and more vomiting, Grant was finally pronounced dead at 4:20 p.m. local time. It was Oklahoma's first execution in 6 years. A string of botched attempts forced Oklahoma to halt such killings. It came after the Supreme Court ruled 5-3 Thursday to lift a lower court stay. Lawyers for Grant and another prisoner, Julius Jones, had argued Oklahoma's 3-drug cocktail of lethal injection drugs would subject them to excruciating pain. They also said an Oklahoma law forcing them to choose their method of execution violated their religious rights and amounted to suicide. Oklahoma plans 6 more executions in the next several
I don't believe
months.
in capital punishment
And
because
Lisa
they
Burdiaga, the
kill
pioneering
innocent
lawyer
people.
and fierce defender of immigrant rights, has died at the age of 80. Burdiaga founded the first pro bono law office to represent refugees in U.S. immigration prisons. In the 1980s, she spearheaded efforts to defend thousands of Central American asylum seekers in the U.S., many of whom fled repressive and brutal U.S.-backed regimes. In recent years, she fought for legal protection of children being held in cages near the border under the Trump administration. In 1986, Burdiaga founded the Refugio del Rio Grande in South Texas, a safe community for refugees from around the world. She passed away at her home on Thursday. And those are some of the headlines. This is Democracy Now!, democracynow.org, The War and Peace Report. I'm Amy Goodman.
I'm Amy Goodman. A lot of shit. She talked about a lot of shit. Fucking, damn it. I can't think straight, y'all. I'm sorry. What did she say? Something stuck out to me. I don't agree with the capital punishment because, you know, they convict innocent people all the time. So if you're gonna kill somebody for a crime, you better make 110% sure that they were, you know, they were the ones who did it and all that shit. And they be botching fucking, you know what I learned some years ago when they really I started going with the DNA evidence and stuff and making it all like, oh, this is for sure. And they're finding out now that shit has a whole bunch of fucking cracks in it. So they have convicted a whole bunch of people off of DNA evidence that was not good evidence. So like I say, if they kill someone, they need to be 110%. And now they're be talking about the DNA. So they had DNA evidence, you know. Oh, they had DNA evidence. So and for the average listener, for the regular person like me, we're like, oh, well, they had DNA evidence. So I guess the dude is guilty. But, you know, now the knowledge that I've gained, I realize now that some of that DNA evidence is not very good. It's not very good. There's all kinds of problems with it, but they don't talk about that. They just want to tell you, you know, hey, we had DNA evidence, so the guy's guilty or whatever. I don't know. She talked about some other shit, but I fucking lost it. What's his name? Paige. Hold on. Let me see. I really want the video I want to click on disappeared now. I usually have all these set up and ready to go. I had to work today, so I came straight from work. Well, I went to the bar. Came straight from the bar here and logged on to the show. So I can't. I didn't have. This is interesting. The Ice Cube thing. I saw it on my Instagram.
Ice Cube has exited Sony's upcoming comedy, Oh Hell No. Sources tell The Hollywood Reporter he departed the project after declining a request from producers to get vaccinated. Ice Cube would have co-starred in the film with Jack Black. Sony had no comment. A personal representative for Ice Cube declined to comment, and his agency, WME, declined to comment. Oh Hell No is being produced by Matt Tolmack and Black, who both did not offer a comment. Ice Cube and Black partnered on the project in June, and the film was looking to shoot this winter in Hawaii. Producers on Oh Hell No made the request that cast on the project would need to be vaccinated. The film is pushing back its production start. Black injured himself in June while filming a gag for an episode of Conan, but is still attached to the project. Sources tell THR the studio is looking to find a replacement for Ice Cube as the star walked away from a $9 million payday. Vaccination among cast and crew in Hollywood has become an issue on multiple projects. An agreement between guilds and studios unveiled in July states producers will have the option, quote, to implement mandatory vaccination policies for casts and crew in Zone A, where cast and crew work in close proximity on a production-by-production basis. For more on this story and the latest updates, go to thr.com. For The Hollywood Reporter News.
Yeah, so Ice Cube, they're saying Ice Cube walked away from $9 million because they wanted him to show that he was vaxxed, and apparently he's not. I think, this fucking shit. I was talking to the guy at my job, and he's from France. And we were talking about the politics of France, and he was telling me about how, like, the mandates, they extended the mandates and so forth and so on. But one of the things that people are really pissed about is that if you have to go, see, over there in France, here's another thing. In France, you can go to the doctor without having to pay. That sounds really crazy to us over here in the United States. But you could go to the doctor in France and you don't have to pay. So that's a thing there, okay? So, but what's happening is, okay, if you need to go to the doctor and you haven't been vaccinated, then you have to show that you are, a negative test. You have to take a test. So, but then they make you pay for the test. So that's what that's what some of the people are really pissed in France about that, because now they have to pay, right, to get service simply because they don't have the shot or whatever. And it's kind of like they're trying to make them into America, the way we do things in the medical field, because they want to make more fucking money. So that's what the people are mad about. It's like, okay, I want to take the vax, that's fine. You want to do a test on me, that's fine, but you're going to make me pay for the test? Normally, I would just go to the doctor and have to pay for nothing. So it's like a way of leading. Like once you start there, you start with just charging you to take the test. So then now you can see the doctor. Then you start there and then you start adding on shit. Oh, now you got to pay to see the doctor. Now you got to pay to do this. Now you got to pay to do that, like we do here in the United States. And the people in France are like, nah, we don't want to be the United States. So, yeah, we totally off that. The video from here, I wanted to see. I don't see it. I done fell in love with this damn channel. I need some people to join.
¿Tienes miedo de dormir en la calle?
Tengo miedo que nos roben algo.
¿Tienes miedo ahorita? Walking off the major highway right now, going down kind of a dark alleyway. I feel a little bit sketched out, but I don't know. I think it's kind of interesting that just kind of witness, what these children have to live through. Literally, children are sleeping in sketchy alleyways. So, yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna put my camera away for a little bit.
Mañana tratamos de ver si nos quedamos en un hotel, oye, papá. Mañana pedimos y nos quedamos en un hotel. Hoy porque ya es muy tarde y no tenemos mucho dinero, ¿ya? Aquí estamos por su hermanita. Arrópense, que hay frío.
How can you, dog, you don't have a heart if you don't feel this shit.
No, que es fuerte porque uno gasta todos los ahorros. Ya todos los ahorros que nosotros teníamos ya se nos fueron, pues.
The kids don't deserve it, bruh. What did they do but be born? They deserve to suffer for being born? Come on, man.
Siga, suba. Ya. A ver,
Hay que viajar para comprarle los pañales, la leche y las toallitas. Para que mi mamá salga rápido cuando le hagan la expectación a mi hermana.
I'm going to accompany them while they go to check on his little daughter. Gonna document it, just kind of see how they wing it with limited cash.
Arrecife Norte. Quiero contratarte 8 días completos. ¿8? 123 en las Filipinas. Se hundió con un cargador.
It is freezing cold. I did not bring a jacket. I didn't bring my poncho. It is freezing.
Mucho gasto aquí. Todo es caro. Y si ya no tienes tú una entrada económica, no puedes pagar hospedaje, comida. Y menos aquí porque uno está en otro país, uno no tiene familiares aquí. El peligro que ve que pueden salir, así como nos salieron esa noche, que son gente dañada, fumona. Yo esa noche no dormí nada. Solamente él lo arropé bien y que durmiera. Buscamos en los sitios que estén como más oscuros, así, donde haya un techito para que no nos vean. Porque si nos ven, nos pueden robar. Porque el sueño, uno no va a aguantar toda la noche durmiendo. Siempre el sueño domina a uno y tengo que estar pendiente de ello. ¿Qué más?
He can't rely on nobody. He's there with the little kids.
Mucha gente juzga porque vamos a poner, me dice, ponte a trabajar. Yo le digo, deme trabajo. Yo tengo todos mis papeles, tengo visa, tengo todo, pasaporte. Pero no dan trabajo. Ahorita no hay trabajo con la pandemia que hay. Y por eso es triste y lamentable y da pena ponerse en la calle a pedir con los niños porque piensa que uno es un vago, es un flojo, no quiere trabajar y es todo lo contrario.
That's what they say all the fucking
Me
time.
conocen y si me conocen saben que yo soy
Like,
trabajador.
wait, let me pause this for a second.
Pero ya ahorita
every fucking time. That's what they say. You're lazy, you don't want to work. That's why you're in the position that you're in. And it fucking makes me so fucking angry. Like, and I've been in jobs. I've had plenty of different jobs and I've been in different positions, bro. I've been the guy at the bottom and I've been the boss. And like, okay, now let me say this. So some people be like, okay, the manager, they don't do no work. They sorry as hell. But what I'll tell you is it's a lot of shit that goes on behind the scenes that you don't see that they actually do. They are doing work having to do with your schedule, having to do with emails, having to do with whatever, phone calls, complaints, just random shit that you don't even think about, that landscaping, random ass shit that they have to deal with. They do have to do stuff. But as far as working harder, as far as doing more physical labor, and the thing is, the people that want to be in charge, the reason why they want to be in charge is so they don't have to bust their fucking ass, you know? And then the thing is, like what everybody keeps saying, like I say, like he said, like they say all the time, they're lazy. They don't want to do any work. They don't want a job, you know, they're not worth it or whatever the hell. And it's so much fucking bullshit that you're lying to your fucking self about, you know, like people want to be homeless. People want to be homeless. Who do you know that wants to be fucking homeless? Come on, get that shit out of your head. You're fed this bullshit because, see, you have to feel like, things are the way that they're supposed to be. Things are justified. Those people did what they did and they deserve to suffer the consequences that they have. And then if your brain works like that, then you're like, okay, things are fine. Things are just the way that they're supposed to be. Yes, they're suffering, but hey, they made bad decisions. You know what I'm saying? And in some cases, that's true. But the point of it is that they want you to think that way so that they, like I say, another thing is they talk about unskilled labor, right? The people at the bottom, they have unskilled labor. We talked about in the show yesterday how John Deere is on they're striking. And the salary employees are doing the jobs. These niggas is having wrecks, fucking all kind of shit. Their production is all slow. It's not coming out how it's supposed to be, so forth and so on. Same thing's happening at Frito-Lay. they're striking, so they're bringing in fucking, you know, the people who cross the picket line. These people don't know what the fuck they're doing. Their stuff is not coming out right. See, so like these companies don't really care. I mean, they care. The profit model is important. I've thought about this really heavy. You know, I think about these companies and I think about how like the profit, it's all about money. But at some point, it becomes no longer about money. It becomes about suppressing people. It becomes about the class system. It becomes about those people aren't worth it. They don't deserve it. And that's beyond the profit. They're not in the right class. So they don't deserve to get 401k. They don't deserve to get 6 weeks of vacation. They don't deserve to get medical leave. I come from a different class. I get privileges because of that. So for me to feel privileged, some people have to go without. So that's the real reason beyond the profit. These people aren't lazy. These people don't, it's not like these people don't want to work. They bust their ass way more. Oh my fucking God. Y'all be talking about the fast food workers and that they're lazy and all of this and they don't have no skills and all of that. Have you ever worked? If you've worked a fast food job, you know you're busting your ass from the time you fucking clocked in to the time you fucking clocked out. So you guys out there who listen to me who have those more cush jobs, you could take a little break. You can move away from your computer for a moment. You could go have some coffee. You could go to the water cooler and have some water, you know, whatever. You can step outside and have, you know, get some fresh air. Boss, I just need to get some fresh air. I'm gonna step outside for a second. Cool. That don't fly in a fast food restaurant. No, get your ass back in there and flip some burgers. Oh, you want to drink some water? You could do that on your fucking break. Go flip some more fucking burgers. These people are busting their ass the whole fucking time. Get your ass out of here with that bullshit.
Tengo que hacerlo por mi hija. Tengo que pedir. La obligación fue pedir por mi hija. Ahorita lo que vamos a hacer es para su hermanito, ¿verdad? Coméntale qué vamos a hacer a ellos. ¿Qué es lo que le vamos a comprar a Paula?
Pañales, toallitas, leche.
Y para los exámenes.
Y para los exámenes.
Do those kids deserve to suffer? Let me ask you that. Do those kids deserve to suffer?
De mi esposa,
what did they do other than be born?
Para ver qué hacía. Si ella iba a cumplir sus 9 meses teniendo la niña en embarazo para que naciera, se la sacaran. Prácticamente le hicieron un aborto. Yo nunca estuve de acuerdo de eso, porque yo decía, si ella le hace un aborto, si yo he firmado algo, yo a esos médicos lo demando. Porque sea como sea, es mi hija, es un ser humano.
She's a human being.
Entonces, varias veces mi suegra y que no, que necesitaba $800, que en Colombia le hacían eso. Yo le decía a mi esposa que yo no, que yo el dinero que estaba guardando es para mi hija porque yo no sabía las condiciones que ella venía. Entonces la suegra siempre ahí, hasta que mi esposa le dijo, no, yo voy a tener a mi hija como Dios me la mande. Si el único que puede quitar la vida es Dios. Más nadie. Ni médico, ni más nadie. Entonces nosotros aceptamos a nuestra hija como Dios nos la mandó y luchar por ella. El 13 de enero mi niña nació. Cuando ella nació cayó en UCI. Duró 17 días en UCI. Y ahí la niña fue recuperándose, pero siempre su problema es interno en la cabeza. Hay que hacerle la resonancia para ver si el líquido se expandió o disminuyó. No se sabe todavía porque no tenemos el recurso para hacerle la resonancia.
Watch, the MRI is like $10,000.
Y en el curso de esta pandemia, muchas empresas cerraron. Yo fui uno que quedé sin trabajo. Estoy en la espera de volver a ingresar al trabajo. Pero con la pandemia, sí, laboraba el queso, iba para la trocha, traía mercancía y todo eso. Y así pude sostener hasta que ya los ahorros que había tenido para ella del embarazo hasta ahorita, ya los ahorros se me acabaron.
Para mi hermanita Paula.
¿Qué quieres más en el mundo?
Quiero ropa y juguetes y zapatos.
Eso es lo que quieres más en el mundo.
Y también vestidos. También quiero que le compre medicinas. Para que ella vaya mejorando muy, pero muy bien.
Ah.
Son pañales Hubi. ¿Qué?
So the hospital doesn't provide Pampers and stuff to the child that's in the hospital. In this country.
Estos pañales son para mi hermanita.
$2,600 is what he needs.
Y hay mucha gente con COVID, muchos mueren, no nos dejan pasar a ver a la niña porque hay muchos casos de COVID. Y hasta aquí es lo máximo que podemos llegar.
Can't even go see his
Especialista
baby.
de puros niños con COVID, síntomas de Down, lo que tiene mi bebé.
Extraño a mi hermanita chiquitica. Paula. Extraño a mi mamá. Y a mi hermanita. Y la quiero mucho. No puedo vivir sin ella. Y tampoco puedo dormir sin ella. ¿Me puedes, por favor, explicar por qué no va a salir del hospital? Unicornio con el tronco del unicornio. Lo que quiero es que mi hermanita salga rápido del hospital y quiero ser más linda.
Quita eso para tu hermanita.
Man, like I say, if you don't feel that shit, you don't have a fucking heart, man. I was reading under the comments. I don't know where I was at. I was on a YouTube video, something just like that one. And it was like the people were coming to the border and trying to get over the border. It's these same people. And the comments were so horrible. They made me cry. One dude in the comments said they should get a 40 cal and put it on the fucking border and mow the fucking people down. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. What do we do? Is there any hope for humanity when you got people who want to mow down children who are begging for money to get diapers for their sick kid in the hospital, man? What the fuck kind of world do we live in? How you feel, man? You all right?
Yeah, I'm all right. I took a nap and I'm just trying to recover, trying to get up, trying to wake myself up.
Yeah, it is 3 a.m. and I started really late, so I don't know if we're gonna go very long today. I'm already at about an hour. So yeah, how you feel, man? You all right? What you think about the video?
Man, it's fucking depressing. I was listening to some of the stuff you were saying, and if I would have added, it's like, yeah, you should blame these kids because they picked the wrong parents. Like.
And that's kind of deep because I think about that a lot because, I've read a lot about that. There's a religion. One of the religions say that. One of the religions say it's one of the Asian religions, Asian continent comes from over there. And it says that you choose your parents. It's like that darkness. It's really deep. It's like the little tunnel, like when you die and then the light at the end of the tunnel is you coming out of the womb. And when you're in purgatory or, in between, you get to choose which, your parents, they're fornicating and you get to choose which one you're going to come out. That's pretty deep. Either way, wait a minute. I need to text Anaya. I don't know where the hell my daughter is. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, good.
I meant to do that a minute ago. Get caught up. She might be here, but I haven't seen her, so I need to see her or hear her. Okay, I sent the text. So yeah, so what I was saying was I totally lost it now. The people talking about they want a 40 cal, put it on that border. And the people that's coming across the border are these people right here from this video I just showed. Those are the people you want to mow down with that 40 cal. How heartless can you be? How could you watch that video and, and like I say, those kids didn't choose to be, in poverty. Those kids didn't choose to be born in Venezuela or Colombia or Panama or Ecuador or Honduras. So it's like, depending on where you were born, that determines how much respect you're supposed to get or what kind of life expectancy you should have. What do you think about all that?
Well, there's definitely, of course, I don't know the numbers, but there's a certain demographic that believes exactly what you just said. Like,
I know that. I read the comments every fucking day. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no. It's actually. I mean, I guess because I hadn't been in the comments, but it's at the same time, it's crazy that somebody could think that because first of all, I mean, if you don't look at any situation and think that it could be you,
right?
You know.
That's what the thing is. Americans, we're greatest country in the world, da. So I'm born in America. I get to be an American citizen and I get to have all these rights related to that. So just so happened, what if your mom took a trip to fucking Venezuela or Colombia or Honduras, wherever, and you fucked around, was born there? Now what, bitch? Now what, bitch? You're not no fucking United States citizen. Guess what? You fucked around. Your mama, your baby came early. Something happened. You fucked around and was born in some hospital in the middle of fucking Ecuador. Now you're not no United States citizen, bitch. Now what? Now you a fucking immigrant like the ones you want to shoot with your 40 cal.
Do you know how easy that can happen?
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's my point. Yeah, it's so easy. You could be on vacation. The mom could be on vacation. She's pregnant. She's not due for another month or two. And fuck around and have the baby. Now what? Now what? You're not no citizen now. You're not no American citizen. Why? Because you came out of your mama's womb in Colombia or wherever the hell you was at. Belize. Where do we get this from? Where does this come from? Where does this idea come from that a person gets respect depending on where they came out of their mama's fucking womb, or they get certain privileges depending on where they came out of their mama's womb? What is this?
It's insane.
Don't know, my friend. I have no fucking idea.
I'm
The
sorry, y'all, but
entitlement, the entitlement is way dude. It's more than jumped. The entitlement of certain people has way more than fucking jumped. I don't fucking get it, bro. I don't get
I
it
don't
at all.
get it. I don't get it at all. I do not understand it. And I wish I mean, I don't know what to say about it. And I'm sorry, y'all, that I'm being kind of emotional about this because this is the kind of thing, these
It's
fake
fucking
ass
okay,
borders,
bro.
these fake ass
It-
borders, like between, let's say, Texas and Louisiana, you crossing the border, you know, when I drive, right? You drive into Louisiana, it takes the longest to get out of Texas. When I'm in, like,
yeah.
I'm coming back.
It takes 2 hours to get out of Texas if you're going to Louisiana. It takes about 2 hours.
Yeah,
You pass Vider. You pass Vider. Vider. That's so funny. And we were talking about this earlier. Vider is a marking point, bro. Vider. You know what Vider, Texas is, right?
Yeah, we talked about it in the other show. Go ahead.
Dude, yeah, hell yeah. Because there was. As a kid, I remember my dad driving through there, and you can still see nooses hanging from the fucking trees, and no one pays attention to them. No one, yes sir, you can. No one even notices, but they're still fucking hanging from the goddamn trees, and people want to know what's the fuck is wrong with our society, man. Everybody ain't fucking racist here, bro. That's what I'm saying. Everybody ain't fucking racist, but these motherfuckers, they gotta go, man. They gotta fucking go.
I agree.
It takes a minute, bro. It takes a minute.
But see, the people that aren't
It takes
racist
a
need to
fucking
stand
minute.
up. Because I don't think like they like to say all white people racist. No, it's not true. You know, but
no, they're not.
But the ones that aren't, if they do see a noose hanging from a tree in Vider, then they need to be like, what the fuck?
Can I chime in?
Go ahead. I've been talking a lot already. I need a voice break.
They do need to. Oh, you fucking serious? They do need to chime in, man. But like I said, there's still that need to, like, if they this ain't affecting me. That shit, they ain't affecting me.
That's it.
Now I gotta be the crazy one. Whoa, I gotta be the crazy one. That? Am I lying or not?
No, I 100% agree with you because that's the problem. Everybody say it don't bother me as long as it don't
keep on going on.
And you know what makes me mad? What makes me angry a lot is when black people be like let's say the cops killed somebody or whatever, and then a black person be like, they wouldn't do that shit to me. I wouldn't let that shit happen to me or whatever. You know, somebody's rights get violated. They wouldn't do that to me. I ain't gonna do it. They wouldn't do that to me. I wouldn't allow them to do that shit to me. When people say that, I want to punch them in their fucking face. I swear to God, because that attitude is the reason why yes, because you allowing them to do that to that other person and not being outraged about it. That's the reason why when the time comes, they will do it to you, and you ain't gonna do nothing but fucking cry about it. There ain't nothing you can do. You can't stop it because we have to come as a community, as a group, and fight against that shit. If they fuck over any one of us, we need to all stand up and be like, no. That's not acceptable. We're not allowing that shit. Do not fuck over that person. They're a human being. They deserve rights. Because if you let them take the rights of that person over there, they're going to come over here and take your rights. Like I say, man, when people be like, oh, that shit, I wouldn't do that. They wouldn't do that to me. You know, that you are accepting the system. You are allowing the system to continue the way it is. Because you're not outraged about it. You're just saying, you know, they're not going to do that to me. So then it's totally okay that they do it to somebody else as long as they don't do it to you. What happened in Germany with the Jews? You know, they didn't start the Jewish, listen, the Holocaust that everybody knows about, that shit did not happen overnight. That was a process over time.
Bro, I called the fucking apart. Hold on.
Over time, they, you know, taking rights away, you know, segregating people, oppressing people, and eventually it got to the point where they was exterminating people. Now that could, if you think that can't happen here, you're fucking out of your mind. That can happen here. That can happen anywhere in the world. Because if once people allow the first steps to happen, then it's gonna keep on going. Each time, I bet you the Jewish people was like, "Oh, they're not fucking with me. They're not fucking with us. They're not fucking with me. They're not fucking with us. I'm good right now." Guess what?
They must be doing something wrong. Like, what about the places they're going? You know, they're doing something. They're doing something
right.
pretty odd then, because you know, if I can go to those places and nothing ever happens
Right.
to me.
And that's what I hear. Especially white people are the ones that's the worst about that here in America. When they be talking about, oh, well, you should have just had your driver's license. Oh, well, you shouldn't have had no tickets. Oh, your brake light shouldn't have been out. You know, oh, you should have just complied. You should have just complied. That's why they killed you, because you didn't comply. Like, get the fuck out of here, man. Those are excuses. Regardless of what the fuck happened, ain't no excuse for a cop to kill a person. What is the excuse for that? They are not judge, executioner. You know what I'm saying? They're not, that's not their job. They're stepping all the way out of bounds when someone dies in their custody. There's no excuse for that ever. If the person had medical conditions and they just had a heart attack or something, it was completely out of their control, that's a thing. But if they did some action that led to somebody dying, they are all the way wrong. It doesn't matter if that person was a criminal or not. Their job is not to execute people. Oh, you should have just complied. If you would have complied, you wouldn't be dead. The fuck out of here. Curtis, you're muted, bro.
What are they complying to?
Fucking authoritarianism, authority. Whoever is the person with the badge and the gun at the moment. Because look, that's what happens in Haiti. You know who's running Haiti right now? Guess who's running Haiti right now? You know, they don't really have a government. The president was assassinated some time ago. Guess who's running Haiti? The fucking gangs. Whoever the fuck got a gun. Whoever got the most guns. They become the authority. Guess what? Because if you don't do what I say, I'm going to pop your ass. So people going to submit. People going to submit to that authority because that authority will kill them. And it's kind of like what we live in. When I was talking about the poverty of violence, the violence of poverty, it's the same thing. Like I say about the homeless, being a reminder of what can happen to you. That's it. Keep your head down, follow authority, do whatever the hell I say, whoever I am, who's the authority figure. And if not, then you fucking gonna suffer. Either I'm gonna kill you or I'm gonna kill you slowly. You're gonna be out there living under the bridge. Anyways, I don't know how long I'm gonna go today for the show because I'm fucking tired, bro. Like the show was way too long last night. That's probably why Pat. You're right, Pat. We went way too long last night. The last night show was like fucking 5 hours, bro. I gotta stop doing that. I keep saying that, but I keep doing it. I can't keep doing 5 hour shows. That's why I'm tired right now. I'm fucking exhausted. Anyways, yeah. Curtis, go ahead, Pat.
Yeah, no, I would just say I saw that it was like ready 5:40 or something, 5:39 or something like that. I was like, man, I wasn't on there the whole time, was it?
Well, you went to sleep towards the end, but no, you was there pretty much the whole time. I mean, I started with my mom and them, and then you jumped on. Yeah, you was there pretty much the whole time. Yeah. I mean, a good 4.5 hours, I'm sure you was there. Maybe 4 hours. But the show went 5 hours. I gotta stop doing that. That shit is exhausting. And ain't no way in hell people gonna consume all this fucking content. It's way too much. I'm trying to figure out ways to improve the channel, man. I'm asking people to leave comments and let me know what the hell to do to improve the channel, you know? I really want it to grow. I really want to be better. I want to entertain the people, but I want to educate them. You know, I want to ignite them. So how do I do that? You know, and what is my target audience and all that shit? I'm all trying to figure that shit out. So what you think about that, Pat? What you think about the like, I don't know, fucking all that shit I was saying, like, you know, borders, nationality, where you're born, where you came out your mom's pussy determines your rights. I was gonna talk about Louisiana and driving from Louisiana because the last ticket, I got a ticket coming from Louisiana, and it's like once you get into Texas, that's when I get scared because I always be having problems. And, you know, once I get into Louisiana, it's usually not as bad, you know, like going to Louisiana. But when you're coming from Louisiana, and then once you get into Texas, those little towns, you know, on the edge of Texas, coming into the city, that's where the motherfuckers pull you over and give you tickets and shit. You're like harass you and shit. And that's where you can fucking die too. Fucking don't answer your questions right. Don't respect that authority properly. Them damn good old boys with the big hats, the troopers with the big belt buckles. And it don't matter what color they are. The black ones are actually the worst. When I came into Texas last time, it was a black guy. A black guy. Look, let me tell you, he had somebody pulled over. And I was in the far right lane. He had somebody pulled over on the shoulder on the right side. And I was in the far right lane and I was coming up. I saw them pulled over. I slowed down. I tried to get over. I couldn't. It was cars in my lane to the left. He eye contacted me. When I drove past, he looked right into my eyes and he mugged me. He got right into his car and pulled me over. He said I was supposed to slow down to lower than 30 miles per hour or some shit like that, or get over into the other lane. I was endangering him or whatever. That's what the ticket he gave me. This was a black guy with the big fucking hat, Texas trooper. You know, and now I'm really careful now. Every time I see a cop with somebody pulled over to the side, because I had never heard that before. I told the cop that. I ain't never heard that before. He said it's a law. You're supposed to slow. Have you ever heard that before, Pat? You're supposed to slow down to a certain speed, below a certain speed, and or get over into the lane to the left whenever the cop has pulled somebody over on the shoulder on the right. Have you ever heard that shit? I was like, sir, I've never heard that before. This is the first time I've ever heard that. He said, yeah, yes, it's a law on the books. Here goes your ticket. What you think, Kurt?
I think you right the fuck
I
on.
have not. Yeah, I have not evaluated. I said I hadn't evaluated whether or not it's a real law, but I've actually heard. You know, like
you've heard that before.
I've heard it before. Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like he pulled that out of his fucking ass, because he saw me. Like I say, he made eye contact with me. You know what I'm saying? And then he asked us a bunch of questions. I think he thought we was moving drugs from Louisiana to Texas or something like that. It was me and Ashley was in the car, and the kids was in the back. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he was acting weird. And he came up to the car. He made me get out. He never walked up to the car. He was by himself. He made me get out of the car and walk to the back. And I had to stand by the hood to deal with him. And then he told me to wait there. And he went to fucking ask Ashley questions. You know, like interrogate her, because he asked me questions first and then he asked her questions. So he was trying to see if our storage was going to match up or something. And we had a bunch of stuff in the trunk, like, fucking bags and shit. We was traveling. We went to Louisiana and we spent there. I think we was there for, I don't know, some days. So we had clothes and shit like that in the back. So the trunk was full of shit. So like, I don't know, man. It's just I don't even know where I'm going with this. I don't even know what my point is.
You're not lying, bro. You're not lying. Like the fact of it is, it's like, man. All right, I'll do my best not to go too deep, but the fact of it is, it's like we as a whole, as a human race, man, again, and I know I say this a lot, we don't give a fuck, man. We don't. We really
As long
don't.
as when it doesn't affect us personally.
Yes, as long as it doesn't affect us fucking personally. That's us, man. And I don't know how to get over this shit either, bro. I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. I am actively trying to fucking figure that shit out. Like there's so much fucking division on this planet, on this fucking planet, and it's like it's a melting pot. It's like, man,
It's retarded.
dude.
So like, wait. So you was talking to me earlier at work about like, you know, and we're supposed to tell. And we're supposed to tell. I'm supposed to.
Go ahead, bro. Go ahead.
The name of the show is Story Time. So I you know, we're supposed to tell some stories and like. So tell me the story about, you know, you said you was watching the show yesterday and it got you emotional or whatever. Tell that story.
Yeah. So yesterday's show, Chaka, you dude. So you showed The Lion King. And then, like, I'm looking at the shit, and they're like, "Yeah, man, that's a great story. It's a fucking great story. It means something. It means something." Thank you for asking this question, by the way. It means something, man. This is like, dude, us as black people, what pissed me off the most about what you were saying, because it was true. It was fucking true, bro. It was fucking true. Like, we don't have history, man. We don't fucking have history. I'm still digging from my father after my dad's death. If you can, you know what I'm saying, understand that. If you can understand that. So I'm still dealing with that. I'm dealing with that actively right the fuck now. The thing about that, man, is you're right. You're fucking right. You're right. We are, as black men, dude, we are, I can't say we fucked, but we're here, bro. We do our best. I'm not sympathizing with the idiots that exist. I'm not sympathizing with that. I can't sympathize with that. My point in what your video and why I felt bad because you cried about it was because it's like, fuck, man. What I just explained. It's like, dude, I'm still searching for my dad. My father lives, but I'm still searching for my fucking dad. You know what can fix that? Fucking history, bro. They all have that. They all have that, bro. They all have that. The fuck?
Yeah, they do, all the way back to, you know,
They
even before they got here.
They can trace their lineage all the way back.
And I apologize.
And it hurts my heart.
Story
it hurts
time,
my
right?
heart that
Story
you can
time.
do something like that to a whole people, and then not even have the nuts to like apologize, to even admit that it was done, to even, you know, be like, you know, hey, yo, yeah, that was fucked up, you know, because look, this is what I always say about apologies. You know, when I'm in relationships or talk to my kids or whatever, you can say I'm sorry, but it means nothing if you don't change, you know, your behavior related to whatever it was that you were apologizing for. If you slap the shit out of, like, I walk up to you, Curtis, and I slap the shit out of you, and then I say I'm sorry, and then I come back tomorrow and then I slap the shit out of you again, that apology meant nothing, right? Right? And then I slap the shit out you again and say I'm sorry. The apology means nothing. It means nothing. Apology only means something when it's accompanied with a change of behavior. Acceptance of what you did wrong and then changing it and not doing it again. You continue the same behavior. You didn't apologize.
Hey, bro, you were talking about zombies earlier.
Go ahead.
No, I didn't apologize. You were talking about zombies, bro.
Go ahead.
You were talking about fucking zombies. And that kind of shit, man. That kind of shit. No, it's not. Yeah, you fuck.
What are you saying? What are you saying about the zombies? Because I don't know what I said.
When I get on here, I'm more or less thinking about the better of humanity. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm thinking about. So when I go there, it's more or less. It's more or less. Like, let me just say, I like the fact that I like the fact that you talking, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. That's the best that I can fucking do right now, and that's the best that I can fucking do. Nope.
Honestly, I say a lot of shit, and I don't be remembering what the hell I
We all
said.
do.
So.
We all do.
Yeah,
So,
I don't remember the zombie part.
Me neither. I don't remember. But I always say it's a bunch of damn zombie robots out here. You know, we all, and it kind of, that authority thing is a big part of the zombie robot thing, because we submit to authority without question. Some guy, one time, what was it? I had U-Haul. I was moving, and I had my little cousin driving the U-Haul, and we needed to, because we needed to back out. We were like in an apartment complex or something, and the U-Haul, it was a big one or whatever, and it was facing in. There was no way to pull out forward, so you had to back out. And in those U-Hauls, it's really hard to see. You can't see the mirrors on them hauls suck ass. So you can't, if you're backing out, you can't see the oncoming traffic at all. So I get out the truck, to help direct him so that he can back out without getting hit or hitting something, right? So I see cars coming, right? He's backing out. A car's coming. I kind of put my hand out or whatever to try to get them to get stop for a moment, just so we can back out. The car's like, fuck you, give me the finger and speed around me. Damn near hit the truck. Like, I'm telling this story because if I had a badge, if I had a uniform, what would they have done when I told them to stop?
They would have stopped and they would have backed up.
And what difference am I? Am I a different person because of the fucking shirt I have on? Is the situation any different? I'm sure they were aware that it was just me trying to let the truck, allow the truck to back. They were like, fuck you. You don't have no authority. I don't have to respect you. I'll speed around and try to hit your ass. I don't give a fuck. Fuck you. But if I got on a fucking badge, if I got on some kind of authority shirt, they're going to automatically listen to me. They don't know me from Adam. Guess what? I could have on a fake ass uniform. I could have a fake ass badge. You just submitted to this authority just because of your, okay, my point is this. Regardless if I had the badge on or not, as a human, you see the situation, you realize the truck is just trying to back out. How about you just have some respect for humanity, regardless if I have a badge on or not, and fucking, be a human and have some respect. Allow us to fucking get out of the fucking, you know what I'm saying? If you was the other person, that same person that sped around damn near hit me, if they were flipped, the situation was flipped, and I was in the car, they would want me to stop to give them a chance to get out. But because of the way people think, it's all about me. I'm not thinking like that. Like, the situation could be completely reversed. And now I can't even get out. I can't back out because everybody's being assholes because I don't have an authority. Does that make sense what I'm saying, y'all?
Well,
yeah, it makes sense to me.
I think that's called
It makes sense to me, bro.
I think that's called
makes sense to me, bro.
Selective compassion. Like a lot of humans, if you want to really call us that, have selective compassion.
Yeah, motherfuckers.
Yeah, I don't know if we should call everybody humans, but yeah, go ahead. Because that's mean. That's mean. I'm gonna take it back. I take it back. But what I mean is, when people behave on their lower self, they become animals, right? We are animals, but we're supposed to be a little bit better,
level.
right?
Yeah, we're supposed to be the highest level of the animal kingdom.
So when we behave on our lower self, then we're no different than the animals. So, and we don't respect animals. We kill them and eat them.
Well, I mean, honestly, we sometimes we're really just a poor example of an animal. Like, you know, maybe we shouldn't even be, you know, like
Damn. Fucking insect, a fungus, a virus. That's what.
virus.
Hey, Curtis, we was talking about the Matrix. Say
Yeah,
that,
bro.
that conversation we had in the car about the Matrix. I ain't gonna lie. I was thinking about that. I was thinking about that all the way to the bar, and when I sat at the bar and I was drinking, I was still thinking about it. I don't even remember what I always said, but fucking like purgatory. We was talking about purgatory and how like in the Bible it talks about purgatory, and you're like in between stage, you know, after death, but before going on to the next stage, purgatory, in between. And then there's this part in the Matrix. I don't remember. I think it was part 2. And you had the 2 programs. They had created a program. It was their baby. And they were hiding that program from the Matrix. And they were in purgatory. They were in the in between. Like they wasn't in the whole Matrix. They were hiding, basically. You know what I'm talking about? That scene in the movie?
Yeah.
It was like Curtis knows because we were just talking about it. It was a mom and a dad, and it was a baby. But what it represented was a program that had went rogue, and the program built another program, and it wanted to hide that program from the Matrix because it knew the Matrix was going to destroy it because it's a virus. It's not doing what it was supposed to do. You know, the program is not acting the way it should be acting. It's not it's not doing this, you know, job that it should be doing, right? So and
Yes,
how like Neo by part 3, Mr. Smith was a real problem for the Matrix. So they had to make a deal with Neo because the Mr. Smith had become a virus for the Matrix that the Matrix couldn't handle. And they had to get Neo to help them rid them of that virus, you know, that they couldn't get rid of or handle or control or do anything about. And so that's how at the end of the movie for Matrix Revolutions, how it ended was it was a truce between the machines and the humans because Neo sacrificed himself to kill the virus that was hurting the Matrix. The only reason why the Matrix would allow that was because they couldn't deal with it on their own. They needed help. And Neo did it for them. So Neo was like, okay, if I do this for you, then the humans got to be free.
Yeah, bro.
So 100%. I mean, I just want people to try to understand this in a way that's related to the real world because it is. And when they talk about those viruses and they talk about the Matrix, these are the systems that we live under. Like I say all the time, people don't manage people. Systems manage people.
We don't manage people at all, bro.
People manage systems because the systems are what control people. The systems is the Matrix. It's an algorithm. Somebody made it up. They know how humans behave. They know what you're more likely to do. You're more likely to be lazy. You're more likely to, like, you know, try to cut corners and all of this stuff. All of this is set up in the system. They know how people behave. They know the psychology. They've been studying this shit for a really long time. They know how people are. So they set up these systems and they give you little carrots. They give you little trinkets. They give you little gifts. Oh, I might show this on my fucking Instagram. This guy said, okay, this was a quote. I'm not gonna say it verbatim because I don't know. I'm gonna say it wrong. Basically, it goes like this. He grabbed a chicken, still alive. He plucked all the feathers off of this chicken. Okay, still alive. The chicken is bleeding and suffering. He starts feeding the chicken wheat, a little bit at a time. The chicken follows him around. It's hurting, barely alive, but it's still following this same guy around who just plucked all his fucking feathers off. It's following him around because he's giving him them little pieces of wheat, right? So the post was saying, the quote was saying, people, it will take any amount of suffering from you as long as you give them little trinkets, little, you know, little gifts. And this is how society is set up. The iPhone, your Mercedes Benz that you have, your computer, your TV, even your apartment or house, little trinkets to keep you in line, to keep on following behind this guy who just pluck. And you will let him keep plucking your feathers as long as he gives you that Mercedes Benz. Understand?
Is that a part of the glitch? I mean, is it like, because the glitch has to be programmed in, right?
No, not necessarily. I mean, that goes technically no, because look at your computer or your phone. When it glitches, was that programmed in? You know what I mean? It just means that the program isn't functioning the way it should.
I question that. I mean, shit, I think about when, I've had my phone for a year, 2 years, and, it starts having issues. Shit, is it really a problem with my phone, or they, sending signals to make my shit fuck up so that
Well, there's something to that because they want you to buy the new phone. There's definitely something to that, but that's just you're taking it to I would say to the extreme. Not every time your phone glitches is because of because they're fucking with your phone. Not every time your computer acts up is because they're fucking with it, or there's somebody hacking your computer. It's just a glitch. It's just the program not working the way it should. That's all. I'm trying to see if I can pull that shit up, the quote I just said. I don't know if I can. I ain't never looked at this shit on the computer. I always look at this shit on my phone, so whatever. Anyways. So, I mean, the point of it is that, that the system plucks your feathers. It makes you suffer. And then you submit to it because it gives you little gifts. It's like I was saying in the other video, how like an abusive relationship, the guy, he beats on his wife, but his wife is like, he loves me, and him beating on me is him showing his love. And that's it. That's the matrix. That's the way it works. It's an abusive ass system that we feel like it's showing its love to us in its abuse of us.
Yeah, very much.
Just because we get trinkets.
Hey, this ain't no church channel or nothing like that, is it?
I do say sermons. I do give sermons sometimes.
No, dude, I'm just asking.
Yeah.
For me, this is like a conversation that I don't know. A lot of times I probably should avoid because I get way too. I don't know.
I cannot find it. What I'm looking for. This guy, it was a Russian guy, I want to say, who that quote came from. Wish I could find it, but I cannot find it right now. I hate that. If I'd have had more time for the show, I would have just pulled that shit up and had it ready. But oh well. But what would you want to say, Pat? Or you say you don't want to get too deep about it? What are you talking about?
Well, I mean, I mean, because like I said, I guess it really gives me more questions than answers because it's like, even just to, because I mean, we're supposed to be solution based, right? What do we do? Like, I mean, in order to fix the system, I mean,
well, the system doesn't work if you don't believe in it. And when I was talking about the credit scores, we was talking about yesterday, we have all accepted that, right? We accepted that shit as like the gospel, and it's all the way bullshit.
Because we can use it, we can manipulate it, and it benefits us at some point. But it also can be something that can, that's used against you. So I mean.
That's an example of the matrix. Exactly. That's an exact example of what I'm talking about with the plucking of the feathers. Because like I said, you get into a wreck, like, you know, you had some unfortunate series of events and now your credit is trash. It's not that you're a horrible person. It's not that you don't pay your bills. It was an unfortunate series of events. But we accept this as, you know, well, you should have did something different. Like, just like the cops killing you. You should have just complied. You shouldn't have had those unfortunate series of events happen. Now you got to suffer. And because we all, as a group, as a community, we all like believe in this, that's what gives it its power. You know, so like I say, solution based, you know, those trinkets, like the job, a good example, corporate job, you know, you're willing to do whatever the fuck, you know, to get that job. But guess what? Massa is still paying you, and Massa can fire you. Massa can, you know, garnish your wages or whatever the fuck. If
No,
you're making your own money, you're not working for Massa.
but no, but just think about this. I mean, you ever think about the bill collector that calls and harasses you? That's, you know, behind on their shit too.
Right. But that's their job. They still got to do their job. The boss don't give a damn about him being behind. You better get them people to pay. You know what's crazy about that? The people will lose their job. They'll lose their job if they don't never get nobody to pay no bill. That job sucks. It's one of the worst jobs you can fucking have.
I couldn't do it.
Hey, Shock, I'm about to go to sleep, bro.
All right, man. Thank you for joining. I know it's
Always
late. It's
a pleasure.
3:30.
Pat, always a pleasure, bro.
Same, bro.
All right, bro.
Next
What
time.
were you saying? Peace, love,
peace and love, man.
Tranquility.
Tranquility.
All right, bro.
All right. The solution is not to depend on the matrix. So, but look what they did. We got to go back in history.
I want to find a way to buck the system. I want to not just to buck it, but like, you know, I want to find a hack for everybody.
But see, that way of thinking leads you to being, you know, still in the matrix. Like, because what I want to say is we got to take it all the way back to when the United States was becoming a country and what they did to the Native Americans. They were like, they don't want to work, so then they have to die. You know, they don't want to work, so they'll starve. You know what I mean? Like, wait a minute. They was living just fine before y'all came over here. This is a system that you came up with. So they wanted the Indians to work regular ass jobs and become, you know, European in essence. You know what I'm saying? So, but they was like, oh, well, they're not going to do it. So we'll just, the ones that don't do it, we'll exterminate them. This is the beginning of the matrix. Because look, the thing is, like I say, they killed the buffalo. They killed the buffalo because the natives relied on that. So now they need to make money so that they can live. So now they got to work for some white man, become a part of the matrix. If you're living out there living off the buffalo, you're not a part of the matrix. They can't control you in any way.
Well, you know, all right, you know, the beginning of, well, the existing government that was here was the Republic. So to me, it's like, okay, if we're going to recognize history and what happened, I mean, the ushering in of the democracy is what, you know, changed a lot of that. Now, you know, of course, we have to have that argument between, you know, now we have two wings of the same bird and how it plays back and forth. Duality usually does bring balance, but at the same time, we have to also look at the fact that, you know, it's you know, some of these acts are carried out on each side. You know what I'm saying? Negative acts, you know, whether it's good or bad, like these things are being carried.
Like you think let's say there wasn't really Republicans and Democrats back then when it was expansion, it was different. But let's say there was Republicans and Democrats back then. Do you think they would have disagreed on the expansion of the United States into California and the removal of the Indians? Maybe they would have had little arguments about how to do it, but
the thing about, I mean, maybe they would. I mean, that's a big if. You know what I'm saying? I mean, or maybe. That's a big maybe. I can't say yay or nay, but
I would say
the
100% they would agree on that, because it's about the system is to preserve itself. It's about the like you said, the democracy is really it. That is the beginning of it, because the natives, they didn't have, they had their system, but this is what they were. This is what the Europeans or United States. This is what they system that they were, oppressing literally on the peoples. Like, get a job, vote or whatever.
I mean, you got to think about it. It became a fight between different philosophies because, the republic is an idea of self-governing, and where the people, the existing government works for the people. So with that new philosophy at bay, or that's trying to gain momentum, is the one that's saying, no, there shouldn't be self-governing. We need to control everything that's going on with these people.
Right.
So
but look, this is what you have to understand. They couldn't control them. They couldn't. And actually, they didn't beat them in war. They couldn't even beat them with war, even with more sophisticated firepower. They could not beat them. They beat them by killing the buffalo, by putting up those barbed wire fences, by destroying the environment. That's how they did it. Because
trying to really finding new ways to make them submit is
right.
like taking stealing, robbing, just like all these different things that taking things that they had that they could depend on,
right. So
to make them decide that okay,
they have no choice, because it's basically forcing them to literally depend on the government, the United States government. And that's how they do us to this day. They started it then, and it's
still the same exact thing.
It has not changed. It has not changed. So when people say, oh, like I don't depend on the government or whatever, well, can you go out there and make money without dealing with these folks? Don't you need a driver's license or whatever? Don't you need paperwork?
Well, I mean, there's some people that buck the system, but I mean,
there's some.
Largely, no. You need, yeah.
You need the government, or else you won't be able to survive. Like literally, I mean, for the most part, 95% of us, and so that is the issue. If somehow the people, like I said, if this is the solution is ignore the government completely. They'll have no power.
But now,
how do you do that?
That's a concept that, I mean, I'm very excited. I would like to see that, but at the same time, we have a great deal. Like there's more.
We're invested.
There's somewhat. I mean, the thing about it is there's always more fearful people than we have warriors. There's always that.
They're so scared of everything.
Yeah, I mean, it's the whole
But they
thing.
teach you to be that way.
I don't know if somebody can teach you to be fearful.
They do. This is how you control. The best way to control people is with fear. You teach them to be fear by punishing them. Look at the slaves. Why more slaves didn't run away?
What does it take to not be fearful?
To not be dependent on them, to not need them in any way, for nothing, and also have like a way to protect yourself.
The people,
like an army,
like when they're doing these different things. The government is doing these different things, and there's a group of people that's running the other way, and then there's others that's charging still back at them while they're still,
Right.
doing these acts of,
Those people are the problem.
no,
And
no, no, no,
and
no,
wait,
no, 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 no. When I'm saying the people that's charging at them, that's fearless, like, no, we're gonna take your ass down anyway.
the
That's
other ones are the problem. That's what I'm
what,
saying.
okay, yeah.
I get what you said. I know where you were going. The people who are, because like, just like there's a scene. It's so fucking funny in the Boondocks. They was like talking about the bus boycott. They were kind of like recreating it, and before they got on the bus, they was like, okay, we're gonna all go get on the bus, and we're gonna sit on the front of the bus. And when they tell us to move, we're going to say, no, we're not moving. We're going to stay up here. And, what I'm saying, we're going to buck it or whatever. Right. So then they get on the bus. Right. And then they do that. Right. And then the bus driver comes and say, what the hell are you doing? Get your ass to the back of the bus. Like half of the people that said that we're going to stay up there got up and said, yes, sir, boss. I'm going to run to the back, boss. You want me to put my face up against the cold glass window, boss? And then one of them, it was a woman, because they were Rosa Parks. She was like, no, I'm not moving. And one of the two that was supposed to be in the group, boss, she say she not moving. She say she not moving. What you gonna do, boss? Like I say, so what goes along to what you're saying is those people are the problem. So what happened when it was the slave revolt? It was I can't think of his name. The most popular slave revolt that happened. There was a lot of slave revolts, and by the way, they suppressed the slave revolts. They did it back then, and they do it to this day.
No, I know, because I've read about some.
There's so many. There's so many.
Well, one of the largest.
It was a huge one in Louisiana, but that's not the one I want to talk about. The one that was the most popular. I can't think of his name right now, but he said, "Okay, you guys, He said, who is willing to do whatever it takes to get your freedom? Step forward. Whatever it takes to get free, step forward." And the people that didn't step forward, he said, first order of business, kill them niggas right there. That really happened. You can't trust that nigga. You cannot trust him. He cannot be in the group. If he's not willing to go all the way, if he's not willing to die for this, he can't be in the group. Because he gonna be the one that's gonna flip. He gonna be the one that snitch. He the one that's gonna go tell Massa what we up to. Look,
and I have some friends that I would have to knock their head off.
And earlier, some years ago, when I started my journey down this kind of road of, I don't know what you want to call it, black righteousness, I don't know what you want to call it. Once I started on this road, I thought about it heavily, and I was like, we have to trim some fat, like off the beef, like off the cut, like off the meat cut.
Even say, bro, if it came down to what is the last 300, those 300 that's willing to fight to the death are the ones that's gonna make more difference than trying to trust on the masses of people who are they're wishy-washy. Like
I only want
yeah, like they talk a good game, like they really want to see change,
right?
But
when the time actually comes,
it's like, oh my God, look, oh Massa, no, he went that way.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna kill your motherfucking ass. So that's what I mean. You can't trust them, and like I said we have to trim some fat, but I don't say that anymore. I don't say that anymore because, not to say that it's not true, but I don't say it because it's harsh. It leads to division. It causes confusion. People don't understand. So I just go at it a different way. It's more like, how down are you really for the cause? And then you have to show these with actions. It can't be with words. You have to be, like I say, willing to lose your job. Like today, right now, today. I don't have no real job. I wait tables on the weekends. And there's a reason for that. I'm not willing to submit to these motherfuckers. Fuck them. Fuck them and their money. Fuck their Mercedes-Benz. Fuck the mansion. I'm not sucking Massa's ass so I can have a Mercedes Benz.
You kind of had, like sent you a text earlier today where you got a part of what my thought process was, and it's kind of like, yeah, everybody kind of plays their part in this matrix, and just like, okay, there's a bunch of people, black, white, Hispanic, like all these different types of people that were coming together, like just a year ago, almost two,
Yeah.
I guess going on 2 years ago, where they were fighting against
Black Lives Matter, all that.
all these different things that's fighting against oppression, and all these different things that needs to change in our government.
As soon
And
as
then
COVID came,
COVID
mask mandates.
there's a new boogeyman in town, and now everybody is kind of like become the oppressor.
And it makes me so mad. My daughter, like they be saying, how like Mr. Smith jumps into everyone. When COVID first started, and I didn't want to wear my mask. I still don't I can't fucking breathe in the fucking mask. And I think that's part of the thing too. Like, it's making people unhealthy, breathing carbon dioxide that you're exhaling all day. That cannot be good for you.
I really believe that there's a lot of people poisoning themselves with that mask, like as much as they wear it. You know what I'm saying? Like, even like I see people like they're like wide open spaces,
By
with
themselves in the car.
it by themselves in the damn car wearing a damn mask, poisoning themselves because
Can't fucking breathe.
they don't. I mean,
So
obviously
look,
they don't realize, how science works. The human
and I know.
body.
So let's not go there because I'll have a heart attack on that. I swear to God. So, but look, I want to back up your point because that's what it was with my daughter, because she was all like, well, you should just wear the mask. You're supposed to wear the mask. They said wear the mask, so you're supposed to wear the mask and all of this. And it's like, and then you know what makes me really mad? It's like the other person that walks up to you, some random person, don't know me from shit, never seen me before in my life. You want to come and walk up to me and tell me to put a mask on my face. Who the fuck are you? What authority do you have over me? Whatever the fuck you think is going on, whatever the fuck is happening in the whole fucking world, what fucking right do you have to come over here to me and tell me what I'm supposed to be doing? And this is what is so insane. And that goes with what you're saying. All those people, they just flip sides really quickly. They become the oppressors again. They become the Matrix. They become Mr. Smith. They become like, oh, you're not wearing your mask. Like, the government don't even have to do it. Your neighbor is doing it.
Yeah.
Why are you not wearing your mask? Why you don't shut the fuck up and get out of my fucking face?
Why didn't you stay over there them 20 feet you were away from me, where I'm non-affected by, what I'm saying? Like,
me not wearing my mask is bothering the shit out of you. And it's not that I'm not wearing a mask. It's that you feel the authority, because you feel like they've given you authority because they told you that everybody's supposed to wear a mask. So now you feel like you have to enforce that shit. This is a fucking problem. And all the fucking videos, there's so many clips of, like, usually it's white people, older white people going off in the store because somebody came up to them talking about, you got to put your mask on. And I'm sorry, y'all. I don't care who out there. I agree with them fucking people, them old white folks. 100%. You have no authority over me. Get the fuck out of my fucking face. This don't even be like the store managers or nothing like that. This is just another person that's shopping next to you. And then they come and screaming at you or whatever the hell, trying to force you to put on a mask. What authority do you have over me?
And then the thing, I mean, because, and it's a psychological thing, like, for whatever reason, because like I said, I mean, we've discussed the whole, like, they're poisoning their brains by breathing their own carbon too much. But, it's like this, like, if you believe heavily in this fucking mask, or whatever it may be. You know what I'm saying? If you believe in it so much, you should be okay with yours.
But it's not about that. It's about control,
Control, yeah.
authority, you're supposed, another thing, I don't know why I keep bringing up Ashley, but she used to say, stuff like, you're supposed to do that, you're supposed to do that. And we would have arguments and I would tell her, I'm not in the business of doing what I'm supposed to do. You can tell me what I'm supposed to do all day, but at the end of the day, I'm going to do whatever the fuck I feel that I should do for my fucking self.
Yeah.
I don't give a damn if Jesus Christ came down here and told me you're supposed to do that. At the end of the day, I'm going to do whatever the fuck.
Well, and I guess even like on more on a metaphysical plane for me, it's like people have stripped themselves of their God particle.
Exactly. And that's what I be saying. I'm glad you said that, because that's what I say. God body. If you are a God body, then you have the authority of your, no man submits to another man. God body. How you going to submit to another man? You're not God body if you're submitting to another man. Period. There's no exceptions. So God bodies, that's how you know who God bodies are, because they walk around and they do whatever the fuck they want to do. And whatever the consequences are, they just take them. Because I'm God body. I do whatever the fuck I want. I suffer those consequences. Those consequences are mine and mine alone. Yeah. You suffer your consequences, I suffer mine. No man has authority over me. No man. No man. I submit to nature. I submit to the universe. I submit to the earth. I submit to no man. No man.
I'm with you, man.
It gets me in trouble all the time. And again, that's why I don't have no professional job right now. I don't take no shit. I wanted to work for HISD. I wanted to work in the school system. I tried hard. I went through a whole bunch of I went through the whole ass process, and they didn't hire me. Whatever. But I guess
the universe knows you. And that's like the things that we might fight for. The universe a lot of times will not allow us in certain situations
because that's not for us.
Yeah, we're out of balance with that.
And that's what I was gonna say. I was gonna say that it wouldn't have been good for me to be in that system, because I wouldn't have lasted long. Because I would have pushed back against the curriculum. I would have pushed back against whatever stuff I didn't agree with. I was gonna not follow those rules. And the system that they have, especially within the school system, that shit is like the military. And they don't fucking play. You do this, you do that, and you do this. And if you do something outside of that, you don't work here. And it don't matter what position you have there. You could be the superintendent. You could be the principal. You could be the janitor. It don't matter what job you have. You do this, and you do that. You do something outside of that, no job.
Yeah, man. I like structure. Now I'm gonna tell you, I do like structure, but I think there's levels to it, because
it's always
with somebody, that was one of my main things, in my entire life, you know what I'm saying? I discovered, at a young age in junior high, maybe now it wasn't elementary, junior high, I realized I saw, I could see through the pixels of the matrix, and where it's like, wait a minute, I can finding ways I can make money without actually doing how I guess what the system says this is the way to do it. You know what I'm saying? Which on the other side, the system has its place for people like me, that can operate within the system, because with people who because this was sales. I just in junior high, I was like, wait a minute, I can buy these 10-cent candies and sell them for 25 cents. And you know what I'm saying? Like just the whole, you know, that mindset hit me at a fairly early age. So it's like I'm all any situation that comes about, I can find a way, everything I can, because I've worked in jobs where it's, you get up, you have to be there on time, you gotta this, you gotta that, and blah blah blah. So yeah, I've gone through that as well. So, but that's also that side of the system that reminded me you gotta do something different.
Me too. That shit hit me hard a lot of times. And I'm not where I want to be, but the other stuff I was doing before was, I feel a lot better now. and what I want to say was, I agree with you. And and like what I tell my daughter, like like you talking about structure. Structure is important. Like what I tell my daughter is that rules are there for a reason, but you have to use common sense. A lot of people I see, they follow these certain rules or laws, like, with, completely to the letter, and like black and white, like there's no gray area. Like, sometimes the rule needs to be broken because of common sense.
Because that was one of the things I was like itching to say in between all that, was that, rules were meant to be broken. Like the people who created the rules already knew that they could use it how they wanted to.
Well, what I'm saying is, it's important. Like, let's say a stop sign. That's something I'm gonna follow, like a traffic light. You know what I'm saying?
But the speed limit.
Well, no. Look, this is where I'm going with this. A stop sign in the middle of, like, let's say you're in the middle, literally in the middle of nowhere. Literally, there's no other cars. No cars behind you. No cars in front of you. Okay. No cars driving that way. No cars driving that way. You pull up to a stop. You pull up to a stop sign and you stop, and then you pull off or whatever. It's like, I mean, what I'm saying is, like, okay, yeah, the stop sign is there for a reason. The stop sign is there. That's why people have to think. The stop sign is there for a reason, for you to respect the rest of the traffic so the traffic can flow properly. If there's no other cars, then the stop sign at this, the relevance is much lower. You get what I'm saying? You have to use common sense. If you're sitting, like, let's say the light is stuck. Again, you're in the middle of nowhere. There's no cars.
Yeah, the red light makes more sense at this point. Like, cause I mean, a stop sign, as long as nobody's at the other ones, you can go. But if there's a red light and it's just staying there, and you've been sitting at this red light for freaking 5 minutes, wait, no cars coming from nowhere else, you the only one there.
Use your fucking common sense.
And you're still obeying this red light. It's like, oh my God, like, I mean,
come on. Yeah, come on, where's your brain at? And like those buttons, you know how the buttons where you cross the street? You know what I'm talking about. You probably know where I'm going. You hit the button, and it's supposed to like give you the light to show you when you're supposed to walk across the street and all of that shit. But guess what? The light that shows you when you cross the street is related to how the lights are for the traffic. So it's programmed in. So the point where you could cross the street is because that light is red and those cars can't go at that point. And it has zero to do with you pressing that fucking stupid ass fucking button. Also, when you crossing the street, you don't, you're using common sense. If the cars are stopped, they're not coming, you can cross the street. Because I see this all the time. People will sit there. Like I say, they press the button. The light is red. The cars are not moving. They're not going to go because the light is red. But guess what? You're sitting there waiting for the little light to show on the thing to tell you when you can cross the street. Like, I swear to God, like 95% of people do this shit because they're not thinking. They're just following just going the zombie robot shit. The light hasn't said that you can. And look, this is another thing. It's related to the mask. So me, I don't never go by that shit. I use fucking common sense. I'm looking at the cars. I'm not looking at these fucking lights. The cars is what's going to hit my ass and kill me. If the cars are moving, then I'm not going. If the cars are not moving, then I'm going. I don't give a damn what the light says. Period. But look,
and there's somebody that might run the fucking light.
Exactly. You never know. So that's another part of it. So just because, and that's what's crazy. They're gonna be like, I had the right of way. The light told me to go. But guess what? Your ass is dead. Because you just kept on walking even though the cars was coming. He better stop. The light told me to walk. I got the right of way. Nigga, what? What if he don't? Nigga, you dead. And the other part of that is, like I say, I step off the curb to walk across. The other person hasn't started to walk because the light hasn't told them to go. And they tell me, no, you're not supposed to go. You have to wait till that light goes.
It's like, fuck you. Motherfucker, I'm across the street now. Shit, why you telling me to stop? I done made it halfway across the street. You telling me I should turn back and come back to where you are? No,
because the
no
light
progress.
hasn't said.
Yeah, I'm not supposed to make any progress now because of you and this fucking light. Fuck you.
And back to the right of way. People always be like, well, I got the right of way. Like, and you're a driver, so I know you're sensitive to this. People be like, whatever the situation is, we know the laws on the street. People like, okay, I got the right of way. But the right of way is there for a reason. But at the same time, you got to use common sense. You have the right of way. The other car is still coming or whatever. Then you need to yield to that car or you finna have a wreck. You could say I had the right of way, but now you just had a wreck. You might be dead. Your car is fucked up or whatever the hell. You was right. You had the right of way. You was right about that. But guess what? You saw that car coming or whatever the situation was. You didn't react to it because you was like, I have the right of way. I'm in the right. They're wrong. But guess what? You just had a wreck. It doesn't matter who the fuck was right or wrong. And guess what? If you died, you're dead now. You had the right of way, but you're dead.
And even if it is not as extreme as that, I mean, you end up just having an accident and having to spend 2 hours, waiting on cops.
I don't want to deal with that.
Yeah, so why not be the person that's just like, okay, all right. So
okay, I'm gonna let this person. I have the right of way, but I'm gonna yield to this other person because for whatever reason, maybe they're retarded. I don't feel like having a wreck. Let them go. Yield.
Yeah. Because I mean, I think I gave a similar example of this like last week was about the turning in that truck, and like people passing the line, those lines that would give me enough room to make my turns. Okay, so I'm a lot of times just because of how big I am, I have to even though it might be my right to make this turn. I can block up the whole road. Nobody goes nowhere for whatever reason because I done blocked up the whole road. I'm paying attention to everything, so I'm the one that's really can have the authority over the whole situation. And it would be ridiculous for me to see a situation that can be much worse than what it is. I can wait. I can be more patient and allow, these vehicles to get out of my way so I can truly make that turn that I need to make. Or, I could throw a fit at everybody who doesn't drive right. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's a lot.
Or hit them. Or hit them.
I could hit them. It's all kind of things that I could do because actually this car that's, past that big white solid line where they're supposed to be, at least, 3 to 5 feet behind, but they supposed to be behind it, period. I could actually hit that vehicle and they're wrong. But what sense? I mean, does it really make sense for me to do?
Right, because you still need to make your load. You still need to make your trip. This is going to cost you time. It's going to cost you money. What why? But this is what happens, and a lot of people have that. And I notice it comes from women a lot. You guys are listening. I don't mean to be ugly, but I feel this energy coming from women a lot, where the right of way energy, where, you know, I'm right, I'm following the law, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. So that means, you know, whatever else happens, you know, it's your fault. But like I say, now you didn't make it to your destination. You finna be late to work, or you finna be whatever. Maybe you was right, and maybe you are gonna get paid on the insurance. But why go through all of that? Just because you was right? That's stupid. And then you could literally die.
Yeah. You know, I'm gonna tell you like this, like a different scenario, because we're talking about, you know, I just thought about a female driver that I know that has road rage, and you know, they're bold as hell, talking shit to people, you know, ready to get into confrontations with people. Could be, you know, somebody that's depraved, like crazy as hell, ready for a fight, can whoop their ass, but they still, you know, it's like, no, you need to have a different mindset when
You
you
don't
out here.
you don't know, and when I be talking about road rage, well, I'm gonna say one side of it, because to go with what you're saying, you don't know if they got a gun in there, you don't know if they're fucking
Yes,
crazy, you don't know if
yes,
they, you know, you don't know what's going on. But the other side of this is people be having road rage. You don't know what these people are going through. Their mama just died. They baby just died. You know, something really traumatic just happened in their life.
hmm
That could be the reason why they're driving in a
but
way that
yeah,
that's bothering you.
yeah,
And you're all raging and like, get the fuck out the way, or drive faster, or drive slower, or whatever it is. But you don't care. You don't have no idea what's going on in that person's life. You know, that person could be thinking about committing suicide. That person could be going through whatever the hell. You don't care. He's not driving fast enough for you. He's not driving the right way, or whatever. You're honking at them and about to hit them and all of this shit. This person, who knows what they're going through, but you don't care. You don't care. All you care about is, you're in my way.
yeah,
So again, what if it was you? What if your mom just died? What if your child just died and you're on your way from the hospital, or whatever the hell it is? You're probably not going to drive the way you normally drive. And the cars are coming around you, or whatever the hell it is, honking at you. Bah, bah, you idiot, get off the road. Bruh, I just left the hospital. My mama just died. And see, and depending on the person, that might be enough, right? That might be enough for that person to pull the pistol out and pop, pop, pop.
yeah,
You don't give a fuck about me. I'm mourning my mom's death or my child's death, and you want to honk and curse at me and throw the finger to me and shit. You know what? I don't care. Guess what? We both finna die today. I'm killing you and I'm killing myself. What the fuck? What? And all you had to do was drive around the person.
yeah. You want to make a big commotion. You want to be a, like, I mean, they're just as unstable as the other person, and that's the thing. Like, that's one of those things that I don't. You know, I ain't gonna lie. I see it a lot more with, you know, than I used to when I was younger. Because I mean, I've never been that road race person. You know, I'm that chilled back. Like, damn, what's they? You know, I might be like, damn, what's going on with them? Like, you know, what's their problem? But I'm not hanging out the window, like, motherfucker, you know, I beat your ass. Like, you know, I don't, you know, like. I've
Me and
never.
Brittany, was coming from Galveston one day on 45. And you know what's weird about what's kind of funny about that? I mean, again, you drive, so you probably can relate and understand this. Like when you drive in further distances, it's the same cars, right? Because like I say, 45 north coming from Galveston, and these are all the same cars for miles, all the same cars in the same little like area
In the group, yeah.
in a group. And so okay, so one of the cars had like cut off the other car, got over in front of them really quickly or whatever, and the car behind them had to kind of hit their brakes a bit. Apparently, they were pissed about that. We keep going. It took them a while to catch up to this car. And I was watching all this happen. Like I say, it's all the same cars. And I wasn't the only one because the other cars in the group was watching too, apparently, because when the car came up to catch up to that other car, all the other cars started slowing down. We all started slowing down. This motherfucker, the one, okay, it was like a red truck. The red truck cut off a car. And the way the traffic happened, they was separated from that car, and it took them a while to get back up. You know what I'm saying? Finally, they made it back up to the red truck, and then they was like throwing a finger to them or whatever. They fucking like rammed the car. They rammed the car. The truck hit the median, and like I don't know if you want to say jack. It turned because it hit the median and then turned like this, and that other car like slammed. Like what happened? It went to the other side. Yeah, the other car ended up going to the other side of the freeway and hit in the wall on that side. And luckily, all of us was paying attention to this because no other car got involved. It was just those two cars that wrecked. But shit, I wasn't that far behind them when this shit happened. If I wasn't paying attention, I totally could have ended up hitting one of those cars. You know what I'm saying? And so this is another part of the road rage thing. Like, you don't even care about all these other people who don't have nothing to do. You're mad at this guy because he cut you off. Now you're risking the life of. I have kids in the car. I'm sure other people got kids in the. You don't care about none of these other people. You're so mad, and you hit this car. So and then you're stupid. You just wrecked your car. The car was fucked. Both cars was fucked and wrecked, totaled. And me and other cars that was driving along at that moment, we all could have ended up in that wreck with our cars fucked up or hurt or dead.
Yeah, man. It's
That shit made me mad. I just drove on, but I was mad the whole rest of the trip because I was thinking to myself, I could have got hurt behind this person being an asshole.
What can we do?
In that situation, all you got is paying attention. I tell my daughter all the time, pay attention. That is the greatest thing you can ever do in all situations.
Yeah.
Pay attention.
You know what? And that whole pay attention, you can protect yourself, but you can't protect other people. And I think that's kind of the moral of the story. Like
what do we do?
Some of these people have to waste away.
And what we were saying about cutting the fat, but maybe COVID. God forgive me. God forgive me. God forgive me. I'm not even gonna follow that up with nothing.
That the arterial plan behind some of these things. The reason why. At least they say that this whole thing came about. As far as from the top. Maybe it's not. I mean, maybe they should. A lot of these people just shouldn't.
But you know about the Guidestones, the Georgia Guidestones?
No.
It's a monument, and it says like, I don't know what the number is. I suck at numbers, but it should be only like a certain number of humans on the planet for for the planet to be healthy. And we're like way over the number that they're talking about. And it's like they don't even know who put it up and stuff. Like, it's really mysterious. But the stones are like, we should live in harmony in nature, da 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 da. And it's saying humans it shouldn't be more than a certain number of humans on the planet.
So
I think,
even and that's I think like we've had this discussion too. I mean, like while we're pointing the finger and saying that some people are evil and they're how could they do this or whatever, like ultimately based on the position they're in and I guess the level of power they have, maybe they're helping more people than they're hurting.
What do you mean though?
Well, and this is just a thought. I mean, because this is not something that I can like. I don't, I want to see, like everybody that has life to be able to live, and be in harmony and this, that, and the other. But examining the idea that those who do have that are in power and that may realize just what you just said, that this us being way above the number that we should be, as a planet, we're way above that number, that by them finding ways to bring those numbers down, are they really evil? It's just a somewhat of a thought that I'm having. So I have to kind of look at it from the other side. Like if you know would if we had that same power, if we were in that same position as those that's making these big decisions like this, like would we do the same thing? It's deep, bro. I mean, it's a tough thing. You know what I'm saying? So
Because I
that's
say
all.
that all the time. I say that all the time. Perspective is everything. Perspective is everything. If who knows, who knows, who knows? I might, if I was in that position, maybe maybe I would be like, shit, let's just get rid of a third of the humans, or let's get rid of 2/3 of the motherfuckers and figure out a way to do it.
Yeah, I mean, and I had this conspiracy theory at one time, is that when they're having these wars, or have had some of these wars, maybe there was really no animosity between these leaders. Maybe it's just like, all right, we need to bring some numbers down. Let's just send some of these motherfuckers out
I
here.
think I think I think some of that is true, but that's way back in the past. I don't think that happened in recent history. But yes, I study history, so I think that there was cases in that way, because when people are hungry, everybody's hungry. There's not enough food. If there's not enough food for everyone, but you got plenty of, let's say, swords or guns, yeah, exactly. We like, at the very least, people are, it's gonna be less people, and we can also, hopefully steal some food from the people that we're conquering, or the people that we're fighting against, because it happened a lot in Africa. It happened a lot here with the Native Americans, because people like to think, like I saw a video or something where they show the Native American image, and it's the horse. They're on the horse and they're chasing and shooting buffalo and all of this, and that's the idea of the Native Americans. But that was just one version or whatever. That was just one of the tribes that lived like that. Like,
Yeah,
they were the tribes lived all different kinds of ways.
yeah, but I mean, killing off the buffalo to me was just a waste.
So horrible.
It you know what I'm saying, like you've almost brought one animal to almost into extinction.
Extinction. It is extinct here. Wait, no, it's not. It's almost. We have them in Yellowstone. Yeah, they're still
There's
in
still
Yellowstone.
some, yeah, there's still some, but
That's an atrocity. That's against God, I would say.
I mean, just to be able to destabilize the people and to make them suffer, that was the only plan that you could come up with. You couldn't fight harder and try
They
to
couldn't
just
beat.
beat them.
They can't win fair. They never win fair. They don't fight fair. So, but my point was that the natives. We had those were the Plains Indians. So for whatever reason, those are the image of the Native Americans as a whole, for the whole damn Americas, from North America to South America. the idea of the native or indigenous American is the image of the Plains Indians. But again, those are just the Plains Indians. We had, and it was a whole spectrum of colors. Like some of them were light skinned, some were dark skinned, some had straight hair, some had curly hair, some had settlements where they lived, some were nomads. It was all over across the board.
Mm-hmm.
So I can't remember what my point was because you said something before that, and that's why I said that, but I don't remember now. I don't know. The solutions is, like I say, I mean, you can't really just ignore the government. And the stuff that you guys are doing with the creating your own government, that's one of the ways. And like I say, you have to have autonomy. The only way is to not depend on the government in no way. And people be like, if you're not getting food stamps, then you're not dependent on the government. That's not true. You got to go get your driver's license. You got to go get your ID. You got to go to the DMV, all that shit. If living off grid, that's why a lot of people be talking about that. Unplug from the matrix, live off grid, have your little plot of land, grow your own food.
I mean, a lot of those things are constructs that was a way to make money for a certain group where, like, yeah, I mean, everybody, if you're gonna drive the roads, yeah, you need to know how to manage your way through it. But like, do I need to get a new license every 5 years?
It's really a tax.
It's a tax, yeah. So I mean, is it a lot of these things that's truly unnecessary? Like I still look the same at 20 as I do at 25. Like.
But even if you could just take a picture and just update the thing. It shouldn't cost nothing. You probably don't even have to go to the DMV to do that. Send the picture in the mail or something. I don't know.
Why don't the taxes that I've been paying
cover that shit? And I was talking about the guy in France. France. I have a coworker. He's from France, and he follows the politics really heavy there. And I follow the politics in France heavily because France is really important over there, related to like they're kind of like as far as the Europeans. They're the progressive Europeans. They're the ones that like don't take no shit type Europeans or whatever, if you will. Like the thing is like, okay, they have free healthcare over there.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, go to the doctor, you pay nothing. You leave out the hospital, doctor's office, whatever, you pay nothing.
Mm-hmm.
But right now they have they've been fighting about the mandates, right? So this is what they're doing over there. He was explaining to me. So like it's free for service, but you can't get service unless you have your vaccination card. So, but if you don't have your vax card, then you have to get tested. And that seems fair. But guess what? You got to pay for that test. So the French people are like, so basically you're saying I got to pay to get health services. And it's like that. And that's how they do with the incrementalism. They start off with a little old fee to do the test so that you can be serviced. And then they add another fee. And before long now, and this French people understand this. Before long now, you're back. Because see, they want it to be like America, not the French people, the corporations. You have Macron. He's the president over there, and he's a fucking corporate shill all day. I mean, I could talk about Macron. I understand this guy, but he's basically a corporate shill, if you will. You know what I mean? Like an implant from the corporations. His job is to make sure that the corporations don't have a bunch of regulations and so forth and so on. So the French people are like, no, fuck that. Y'all can't charge us for this fee to take this test so that I can see the doctor. It's supposed to be free for me to see the doctor. So, okay, if you want me to take this test to see I don't have COVID, fine, do the test. Don't fucking charge me for it, because now you're heading down that road. Because like I say, they wanted the corporations. They're always hungry. France is a great market. If these damn pharmaceutical companies and these damn, if they could get their little tentacles up into France, then they finna make a whole bunch of more money. That's what it's about.
That's another way. That's another avenue of them making those tests is another way for them to make money. And I've now I don't know about every one of the tests, but there's at least one of those tests out there that is harming people more than helping. Like there's some chemical that's put in there that's being jammed up into your brain that can potentially make you sick too.
And it makes and when the pictures they show the memes of the babies when they test the babies, because they do it the same way with this cotton swab, sticking it all the way to fuck up in the baby's nose, and the baby's all crying and shit. Those memes make me cringe like a motherfucker.
I wanted to beat up a nurse when my son was born.
I believe you. I believe you. Tell me the story. That's today. Today is story time. Tell the people the story.
All right. Well, when Alera was trying to have the baby, was having, it was supposed to be more natural. Everything was gonna be a natural birth. So we went through that period. She ended up wanting, after a while, him, not coming, I guess, as scheduled. She wanted something for pain. So, she got the stuff for pain, whatever. But it still took until the next morning to where they decided that, all right, you know what? He's just sitting here. We see the top of his head and all this, that, and the other, but he's not moving anymore. There's no movement. We need to have a C-section. Did an emergency C-section. They go through the process. I'm there trying. I'm there through the whole deal. And when they pull him out, they hand him over to the nurse. Nurse goes, lays him on the table, and like they had this. The little thing you use to suck that little thing, man. Like the way they was doing it was so, like it was
rough.
It been so rough with
insensitive.
With them. Like it was just like and I know they do this job all the time, but at the same time, I'm like,
that's my baby. Be a little more careful, bitch.
Yeah, I'm like you don't see I'm right here.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like it's, man, I was like, hey, do you have to do it that like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's a little baby. You know what
I
I'm
don't
saying?
trust them motherfuckers at all, bro. And sometimes, like, I have to defend them because, like you said, they do this all the time. And a lot of times, what they're doing, is for the best for the child. And then it's how they're trained. But our medical system is trash off top. So that's why I don't trust it, because it's not that their heart don't be in the right place. It's just that some of the systems that we have in place are trash, and they lead to bad things happening, and not necessarily that person's fault. But when Anaya was born, same kind of situation. But you know what? And she was a bit, what was it? She had jaundice and shit. So, and they took her to the where they put them up under the lights and shit to help their stomach kind of start moving.
The
light.
Yeah.
I stayed with her because they take the baby from the mom, and the mom has to recover. She can't fucking move around and follow the baby when they're taking them like that. So I did, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I stayed everywhere they went with my baby. I was right there. And when she was sitting under the lights, I was there that whole time. I did not trust these motherfuckers, man. Like, you know how the thing when they be talking about babies be getting switched, they get lost. A lot of stuff happens.
That was a concern too. The way we had it set up though, he didn't go into that room where to put him in the little incubator type thing or whatever.
Yeah.
Like
they had to do it now like that.
Yeah,
she was kind of sick. They kept her. She stayed in the hospital for a long time. She was a sickly baby. She was there. This is another thing with insurance. She was there for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't know how long it was. It was a long time for, because normally they let the baby go in like 3 days or whatever. That's about the normal turnaround, right? If there's no C-section, if there's no like nothing, most of the time the baby and the mom goes home like within about 3 days or so. So, but Anaya was sick. So, and then guess what? I don't remember, like after 2 weeks or so, the insurance didn't want to pay for, and Ashley, Christy, she had a nice job. She had A1 insurance. She had badass fucking insurance. But after like 2 weeks, the insurance didn't want to pay for her to be in the hospital no more. They had paid for the baby, but they was like, she had to leave. They was like, we're not paying for the room, you know what I mean, or whatever. The insurance was like, you know, the nurse or whatever came and told her, you know, the insurance, you can't stay in this room past today or some shit like that. Christy was like, you got me all the way fucked up. Christy was like, you got me all the way fucked up. I'm not leaving this hoe till my baby leave this hoe. Period. She stayed the whole time too. I don't remember how we paid or how that worked out. I don't remember the details because, you know, when it's like that, who gives a fuck? Like the insurance not paying, who cares? We gonna deal with it. Yeah. You know, because I remember this distinctly.
Bill me.
Yeah, bitch. So I remember this distinctly because I had to drive. I was driving back and forth to the hospital because I had to go back to work. I had to go to work, you know. And so after I get, you know, before I'm at the hospital and I go to work and then I get off of work and I come back to the hospital. And I was doing this every day for like weeks while the baby was still, you know, both of them was still in the hospital. And the thing was, there's another part of this because see, she should have been St. Luke's. She should have been born in St. Luke's Hospital. That's where Christy's doctor worked out of, and that's how everything. That was because Christy picked this hospital. You know how it goes. And she picked this hospital. She picked the doctor. This is where she wanted to have the baby, so forth and so on. But Christy didn't want to have kids no more. This is her second child, and she didn't want to have kids no more. So she told them that she wanted to have her tubes tied, you know, at the same time when, you know, after the baby was born. So we just do all this at the same time. So, but the problem is they don't do that at St. Luke's because it's like against the religion. You know, it's a Christian ass hospital or whatever. They don't do procedures at those types of procedures at that hospital. So we had to go to another hospital, which was far as fuck, way the fuck down I-10. It was like West Memorial. What was it called? West Memorial Hospital, some shit like that. And so I had to drive all the way the fuck out there. If she was at St. Luke's, it would have been a lot better for me because that was like around down to medical. That was in the medical, you know, the medical center. And that would have been way more convenient for me. But this hospital was way the fuck down I-10. And I had to drive every day back and forth to that shit. So I remember that really clearly. So, I mean, and there's a lot. I mean, I could tell so much to this story, man. That she had a fucked up ass scar from the related to them tying her tubes. So like the lady must have had trouble when she did the procedure or something. And I think that's also related to because it was the same doctor, but she worked out of this other hospital too. So she had to go. That's why we had to go to the hospital because that was the other hospital that her doctor worked out of. You know what I'm saying? Besides St. Luke's. So, but I think that's part of the reason why her care wasn't proper because she should have been in St. Luke's, which is a badass, super nice ass hospital. But we ended up, you know, in this half-ass hospital, you know, and I don't know, man. Me being a black guy, her being a white lady, you know, when we came in, you know, everywhere we go, we would always get looks together. You know, it's crazy how that is, and a lot of times it comes from black people more than white people. Black people just don't like that shit at all. You know what I'm saying? So, I've been there. So when we going into the hospital, we was getting a bunch of looks, you know, a bunch of damn odd ass looks, man. And I can't help but to think that her care wasn't as much as it would have been because of me. You know what I'm saying? Being black and being with her. You get what I'm saying?
I feel you. And I mean that's one of those things that's a known thing that actually, well, I mean it's now that's a different element that you just brought into it. Okay, it's a white female, but the father of the child is black. But when you looking at a black female, black male, like those women usually gets treated way, or you could say they're not getting treated as
Like no treatment.
the way they should. Yeah, the way that they
And it's
should.
even worse for Hispanics. It's true.
Mm,
Depending on the country you're from, that is. If you're from Spain, you're good. You're from Mexico, you got problems. It's true. That this is a thing. I don't know if you realize it. Oh, I wanted to talk about this too because it's the class structure of the United States. Black people hold a higher status in the United States over, let's say, Mexicans. Because I can't just say Hispanics because it depends on what country they're from. But it's true. It's really true. And then the thing is, like, you can see it. You can see it in the jobs that people have. Like when you go and you see construction, the outside jobs, the heavy, hard work jobs, chunking pineapples over their shoulders, laying concrete. There'll be maybe one or two black guys, but it's going to be mostly Hispanics out there. Mostly Mexicans going to be out there doing that work. The construction, the all that stuff. So, but when the jobs get a bit better, just a couple of steps up above that, then it's going to be more dominated by black people. And like black people tend to dominate the like service industry. We tend to dominate the state jobs. You know what I'm saying? The city job, the federal jobs. A lot of those jobs are black people. And I don't think there's a coincidence with this. This is one of those things that needs to be dissected and picked apart because this shows like I say, the class structure. Black people also, they try to get close to that's why black people are in the state jobs because they feel like, okay, I know I'm getting mistreated as a black person in America, but if I get a job at the federal or whatever, then they got to respect me related to that job. You know what I'm saying?
Or whatever.
And the benefits and the pay and so forth and so on. But, those jobs are okay. They're cool. Like I say, you probably can get 401k, vacation time, and so forth and so on. But then when you move up, right, the CEOs, what do the CEOs of most companies look like? The executives, what do they look like? Predominantly white.
For the most part, yeah.
So this is the class structure of the United States that is very, very clear and easy to see that you can't even argue with. People be like, oh, there's no class structure. Oh, there's no racism. Oh, no, people don't have a lower wrong or get, And then another thing, people, when somebody you haven't met before, they ask you, where you work? What job do you have? You know what I'm saying? And I was reading about this. And they say, people say that because depending on your answer is how much respect they're supposed to have for you. If you say I'm an executive for Apple, then they're supposed to respect you a certain way. If you say, I work construction outside or I'm a waiter, I wait tables, then you're way, way lower. I don't have to respect you because you're a waiter. You know what I'm saying? You serve people for a living. Yeah. You don't deserve respect. The CEO gets the most respect. And then you got the executives up under that. And then you got like the black people who work the fucking federal jobs. And then you got the freaking Hispanics who work the fucking worst, shittiest, horriblest labor field jobs. What'd you think about all that?
Well, I mean, there's always been somewhat of a there's always been a hierarchy. And when it comes to the masses, is that a part of nature or is that a structure?
That's not organic.
That's something that's built in to the system.
Right.
So, I think it's fucked up. I mean, what I'm saying? It's just, I can't really, I can't really rationalize it enough to like
And like I
truly
say,
articulate.
it's hard to articulate. It's really hard, and we don't talk about this stuff nowhere. You get to exploit the Hispanics, the Mexicans. They get exploited a lot of times because why? Because they probably don't have right papers or something. But the boss is okay with hiring them. He'll just pay them under the table. But guess what? This guy has no rights. If the boss decides to not pay him or short their pay or do whatever the hell or just fire them for no reason, they don't. There's no recourse for them. They just got to move around and go look for another job. You know what I'm saying? So that's
one of the reasons why they like the illegals.
Exactly. That's why they create these illegals. That's the whole point of it, so that they can exploit them. They don't have to pay them properly. They don't have to give them rights. They don't have to give them 401k. They don't have to give them vacation time. But look, this is the levels. You go up back to what I was saying with the black people with the federal jobs. Yeah, they might get a little bit of vacation time or whatever, but they probably missing that 401k. They probably missing, the real top of the line healthcare and stuff like that. And maybe they have a little bit more job security. That's a big thing that people like with the state jobs, because it's really hard to fire you in those jobs. So that's a good thing. But when you move up to the executives, it's almost impossible to fire them. They all have great insurance. They all have 401k. You know what I'm saying? They all get 6 weeks of vacation and all of this shit. And also, if they get fired, guess what? They get paid. They get paid for getting fired.
Yeah,
severance. They get severance. They get those balloon, those it's in the contract. Depending on how high you go up and depending on the contract that you signed, if they let you go for whatever reason, they might have to pay you the rest of the amount of the contract that you signed. Like, let's say because how it works is you'll sign like a 5-year contract or something, right? Let's say they decided to fire you. You're only 2 years in your contract. They got to pay you for those other 3 years. Not only that, there'll be stipulations in there for your balloon. I can't think of the right term. It's balloon something. And that's a whole nother check that they, when I got fired from my job that I got paid pretty well, they gave me like 4 fucking checks, bro. They gave me so much fucking money because we had to meet at Starbucks. You know how it goes. The big wig calls you, hey, we want to have a meeting, where you want to meet or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You're like, can you meet me at the Starbucks on such and such street at such and such time or whatever. And this is like the boss's boss's boss. So like whatever time, wherever they're telling you to go and whatever, because you're trained, to whatever they say, that's what you fucking finna do. So yeah, I show up there, we have our talk, and unfortunate circumstances, dee, here's your money. You know what I'm saying? And they explain everything. They talk about all the shit because it has related to the contracts that you signed at the beginning. And they be like, okay, yeah, you wasn't supposed to do this, or you're supposed to do that, or I'm supposed to do this, and you're supposed to do that. All that shit. They like to explain everything. And then they just, they give you checks. And then that's it. Have a nice life or whatever. I hope things work out for you or whatever. They gave me a shit ton of money. And I didn't even have my job was good. But what I'm saying is, as you go up, it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger. So that's again. And then what I was talking about, the Pursuit of Happiness with Will Smith. Remember in the movie, he's homeless, fucking sleeping in the bathroom. That part in the movie brings me tears. When he's in the bathroom and with his son and somebody's trying to come in the bathroom to use the bathroom. It's the middle of the night. They don't have nowhere to go. He's kicking at the door to try to keep from anybody coming in. So, disturb him in his bed. He just wanted to hold his son, let him sleep. You know what I'm saying? Have some peace, But what I'm saying related to what I'm saying for that movie is that, it was all about him getting that badass job, right? He met the white dude and he figured out the Rubik's Cube and all of that shit. And he was doing the job. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna wrap it after this. So he's doing the job, but then they say no, Will Smith is like, I need some pay. Can I get some money? I got a situation. I need money. And they were like, there's no pay for this job. This is a internship. You know what I'm saying? And a lot of those jobs are that way. The really, really, really good jobs, you have to do an internship first. It could be 6 months or it could be a year. It could be 2 years. And you have to make it through this trial period to actually get hired on and get your contract and actually start getting paid. So, but the thing is, this is part of the system that's set up. How many people do you know can go 6 months, a year, 2 years without getting paid and still be able to live and show up to work and all that, drive to pay for gas, wear your suit, get your suit laundered, pay for lunch?
Shit, somebody who's getting taken care of by their parents.
Exactly. Or they already have a bunch of money or whatever. So that's a way to exclude regular folks like me. There's no way in hell I could go a year without getting paid. Like, I would love to have that badass executive job.
For real.
But can I go a year without getting paid? I can't do it. So that job is all the way off the table for me. All the way off the table for me. The only way I could do that is if somehow I saved up enough money to live for that whole year while I'm doing the externship. So I'm saying that's the class structure of the United States, the way shit work. You can't have that. It's not racist, right? It's not really racist because, if you have the money, you could do it. But then the thing is, this goes back to the redlining and slavery and all the money that these motherfuckers still have from years and years and years ago. So they have the opportunity, and then they have parents to, like you say, to pay their bills and shit. So, that's it. There's no way for regular folk to get that job because they can't go a year without getting paid. That's part of the system. That's how it's set up. We could wrap it with that. What you want to say to end it? Oh, wait. Let me show you this. I got a message from YouTube, bro. It says, congrats. Your channel just hit its first 100 subscribers.
Okay.
See that?
Well, I'm going to say congratulations. Honestly, like, I think I said everything that I can say right now without going on another 20, 30-minute rant. So I'm going to just leave it at that, bro.
All right, man. I'm going to wrap it then, and I'm going to just play a couple songs for the people and then end it. We're at 3 hours anyways. I'm tired. It's 5 a.m.
Yeah, man, I got to do it again, bro.
I got to work tomorrow. Yeah.
Early.
All right, man.
I think I might have about 3 hours I can rest before I can go. So that's why I'm like, I gotta.
You got to. Go.
I think I got about 3 hours before this
from last night because we stayed on way too long yesterday. I gotta stop the 5-hour shows. That's not good.
Well, no, I'm saying like I took a nap before I came on to the show tonight.
Okay.
And I'm gonna go get the rest of that now.
All right, man. Thank you for joining, man. I love you being a part of the show, man. You are the show.
No,
otherwise, you are the show. Because otherwise, it would be me yelling at the damn computer.
We're the show then. If you're saying that we are the show, because I'm just thinking like, what would it be with me on here by myself?
But I'm just saying you are integral because, like I say, I think that I don't know how good the show would be with me just yelling at the computer.
Some people would like that, but like I said, I ain't gonna lie, I enjoy being a part of the show.
And I can't think. You help me a lot with my because we think a lot in a lot of ways. Like you be finishing my sentences and shit, and a lot of times that helps me clear my thought, like synthesize my thought. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah.
What they say, like the two swords, the swords sharpen each other.
Yeah.
And that's why we have to be as men. This is one of the things that's lost now, I think, in our community is, in black men, we're supposed to be sharpening each other.
Indeed.
That's how we get better. That's how we can fight the war. Because again, this is another thing I'm gonna end the show on some heavy shit. prisoners of war, bro. The war never end. The war, there's a war going on. It's real.
Yeah. We in the midst of it, and that's the part that I don't think a lot of people are getting, man. Like
It's bombs going off all
the stuff,
around us.
Yeah, and it's the
landmines.
Same thing that they got us with in the Indian war, like during the what we consider the Indian wars, like
because that's it. That's the war that never ended.
Honestly,
we're prisoners of war.
Well, you know what? Honestly, the whole Christian Muslim wars never ended, and it's still like it's kind of it's the same thing with because really it's the blacks against the whites, and like it's kind of that same thing that gets kind of co-opted. It looks different or feels different, but it's really the same shit. And they've learned how to pin us against each other so that we can kill off a bunch of our each other, and then it makes it easier for them to come through and do whatever they're gonna do with the rest.
Yeah. All right, man. Get some rest, bro. I'm gonna do the same. I'm gonna play a song before I end the show, y'all. But
for sure.
Peace and love, man.
I'll see you tomorrow, man.
Take it easy, man.
All right, bro.
I was thinking about reading some of this book for y'all. Can y'all see that? I got to figure out a way to be able to show book. I'll probably just take pictures with my phone and then upload them on the computer because I have a lot of books and I like maps a lot. I think people learn from maps a lot, and just pictures alone. Pictures are worth 1,000 words. And I don't want to just make this channel just a straight up class. So I think I'll just I'll show pictures of stuff that's relevant, I think, to the topics that we cover here. Anyways, thank y'all for coming. Thank y'all, bro. I'm at 100 subscribers. Thank you so much. I might make a video just for that. I'll make a thank you video. I don't know what to do to make it really cool. I'm gonna try to make it cool. I shoot it with my phone and like go to a location or something to make it kind of cool and add some cool music or something and some clips out. I'm learning my editing. I'm getting better and better at editing. So I don't know. Thank y'all so much. I'm at 100 subscribers. The channel is growing. It's only been like 4 months. And like I said, we're growing a community. We want to do a community of activists. That's what I'm training. You know what I'm saying? I'm training a community of activists. We can all get together and use this space to make the world a bit better. That's what I'm trying to do. And my plan is for within a year, this channel to really be doing something. So that's why I'm keep pushing the content out, because I'm fighting against the algorithm. The algorithm ain't gonna show love for this kind of content. And the only way I feel, because I read about it, is to just mash the internet with my content. And that's what I've been doing. So I guess it's kind of working. I'm at 100 subscribers. Thank y'all so much. Thank y'all so much for being here and for listening and for growing with us. Peace and love. Y'all have a good one. I'm gonna play a couple songs to wrap it up. Thank y'all so much. Peace and love. Y'all have a good night. Sleep well.
Yes, I am drinking. Recording this shit. Yeah. This damn green, man, it's got me sitting sideways. This damn lean, man, it's got me sitting sideways. I'm on the scene, man, I'm sitting sideways. You don't feel like me, that's why you looking at me. I'm riding clean and I'm flying down the freeway. Nowhere to be, so I'm taking me a free day. Defensive driving, best to listen to what he say. I'm higher than a child on the first day of pre-K. Drive slow, I ain't tripping on the delay. The cup I'm sipping on is giving dumb anyway. Anyway, the optimal action spilling on my khakis instead of the ashtray. Brush it off and keep it moving on. Shift my attention to what else I could be doing wrong. Sure, it's someone on my phone I could be screwing on. So you alone, bring your whole crew along. Sit around the table playing beer pong. She drunk, she bending over and she got a clear thong. I'm looking from the back, man, I got an ass on. Wake up on my back, where the grass come from? This damn green man, it's got me sitting sideways. This damn lean man, it's got me sitting sideways. I'm on the scene and you know I'm sitting sideways. You don't feel like me, that's why you looking at me sideways. This damn green man, it's got me sitting sideways. This damn lean man, it's got me sitting sideways. I'm on the scene, man, I'm sitting sideways. You don't feel like me, that's why you looking at me sideways. I'm the king and we gon' do the things my way. I wanna see you in skinny jeans on Friday. When I'm leaning to the left, you better be leaning in the right way. I'm cleaner than a washing machine. If you hyperallergenic, get your antihistamine. You're like a tightwad caught in between a full of latrine and a pistol with some fiend. Gotta get the cream is on top. ACE, we the team that won't stop. They calling me the dean cause I teach them what's hot. Thought you were the new thing, we can see that you're not. We have to get mean cause we're taking your spot. We wanna get a ring, sit in championship box. Call up your queens and tell them get clocked. When they see the muscle is supreme, your boys gon' kick rock. This damn green man got me sitting sideways. This damn lean man got me sitting sideways. I'm on the scene and you know I'm sitting sideways. You don't feel like me, that's why you looking at me sideways. This damn green man got me sitting sideways. This damn lean man got me sitting sideways. I'm on the scene and you know I'm sitting sideways. You don't feel like me, that's why you looking at me sideways. We thought you were the new thing, but we can see that you're not. Yo, we thought you were the new thing, but we can see that you're not. If you got your own and you clean, drop it like it's hot. If you got your own and you clean, drop it like it's hot. Everybody say wow. How you gon' jock my style? 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 Yeah, you know what I'm saying? KCE, King Chaka. It is what it is, baby. You really not feeling me? Let me find out. Yo, question my ability. Let me find out. Invest in my enemy. Let me find out. There ain't no telling what you finna see. You finna find out. It's something that enters me. You finna find out. Then exit with energy. You finna find out. Riding flows like centipede. You finna find out. Screw those that's kidding me. Let me find out. Get your big lips. I'ma call you Bill Bellamy. When you talk your shit, man, really it's killing me. Hit you with my fist and I'ma do it lyrically. Crazy ass brick, so I might do it literally. I'ma do this till I'm old eating celery. How old is Jay-Z? He gotta be 70. Come to my show or I'ma do it bitterly. Or it's a porn star with a bitch named Beverly. Keep waiting tables, yeah. Spicy means peppery. Or get tattoos and work in the factory. Whatever I do, I'ma do it happily. I'm tired of these rappers too, they do it tackily. That's why I'm here, I'm the shit this year. We gon' keep it moving, grooving, give you something you can feel. When shit's fucked up, gon' drop a tear. I'ma pull my pants up, grab another beer. Rap's messed up and I don't have no fear. Attack the chest up, it's a grown man in here. Ask you little chaps, what have you done in the field? Throw your sets up, let them know you're still here. I said you really not feeling me, let me find out. Yo, question my ability.
ability. Let me find out. Yo, invest in my enemy. Yo, let me find out. Ain't no telling what you finna see. You finna find out. Yo, you really not feeling me. Let me find out. Yo, question my ability. Let me find out. Yo, invest in my enemy. Let me find out. Ain't no telling what you finna see. You finna find out. Yeah, bounce, rock, shake, wiggle. We gon' come through and put it in the middle. They calls me fiddler cause I play the fiddle. Checking masters, white pipes, I's a good nigga. Bounce, rock, shake, wiggle. We gon' come through and put it in the middle. They calls me fiddler cause I play the fiddle. Checking masters, white pipes, I's a good nigga. I said you really not feeling me. Let me find out. Yo, question my ability. Let me find out. Yo, invest in my enemy. Yo, let me find out.